become pregnant or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
This is Jacob and Ronnie. If you've been in an accident, call 844-24-JACOB.
This is Steve Gregory. I'd like you to join me for a live taping of the KFI News special, Sex, Drugs, and Social Media. It's an important look at how social media has become a gateway for kids and deadly and dangerous activity through social media platforms. To be a part of the studio audience, just register at KFIAM640.com/enter. Space is limited. It's free to attend. Go to KFIAM640.com/enter. Be a part of the live studio audience. Go to KFIAM640.com/enter.
KFI AM640, live and on demand on the iHeartRadio app.
This is Unsolved with Steve Gregory. Welcome back. Part of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department's Fraud and Cybercrime Bureau are in an undisclosed location in South LA County talking to some information. Before the break, something you were telling us about Satoshi, the electronic sniffing dog, the first that you had in the Sheriff's Department here. But something I didn't realize is that his name wasn't really Satoshi to begin with. It was a bear. Why was that?
Right, yeah, it was bear. When we got there, and I thought about it, and if you don't know, there was an incident several years back where there was a pretty publicized incident where Jared Fogle was arrested for
The subway.
the subway guy. It was a child pornography case. Well, this trainer, Todd Jordan, trained up Bear, the initial Bear, not my dog, but the initial Bear that he used to test and to figure this whole electronic detection thing out, and took his dog out to where that crime scene was, the house, and tested it on that and tried to find other evidence on the Jared Fogle case, and he did. The dog actually located a storage device hidden behind a socket, a plug socket in the wall. Yeah, and on that media was evidence that ultimately led to the conviction of Jared Fogle. So, in the electronic detection canine world, I guess, Bear is kind of an iconic dog. He was the first one, high-profile case. So I was like, you know what? I don't want my dog to be Bear until they show me one Bear in this industry, right? So I told the trainer I want to rename him. They said, what do you want to rename him to? I said, I don't know. What I want to do is give that task to my detectives and say, hey, detectives, we're getting a dog. You guys name him. Whatever you guys come up with is going to be his name. So they got together and they came up with Satoshi. And the significance of Satoshi is it's a cryptocurrency reference. The alleged pseudonym of the person who invented the coin was Satoshi Nakamoto. Right? So we wanted kind of a name to have a link to cyber in a way. So we said they came up with Satoshi. Like it's different. It's a unique name. There's no other dogs out there named Satoshi. So that's it.
So the dog was young enough to get the dog tips from the bear, and you just decided to change its name, and it took.
Any dog will listen to whatever you call them as long as you pet it. That's it. You got to freak out to the dog. He's calling me Satoshi. I get my food. My name's Satoshi.
So then you and Satoshi, presumably, did you drive all the way out there? Did you fly?
No, we flew. I flew out to Indiana by myself. Met Satoshi. We both flew back together.
How much time did you spend together out there before you came back?
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah, the first day, I showed up to training, got the dog, and we did some very basic things in training for the whole day, very, introductory things. And then the trainer was like, okay, you're in the hotel room. So yeah, and sure enough, I took the hotel room, got his bowl of water, his food there, and it was time to go to bed. I lay down on the bed, and Goku pops up on the bed with me. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna say, okay, cool, that's a good sign, right? And then just day after day, that was his program. And after that 2 weeks, the bond was already starting to form. I was the only one handling them. I was the only one feeding them. I was the only one giving them attention. So after a while, these dogs are very, very, they're loyal to their person, whoever that might be. And after a while, that's your dude.
So that relationship, that bond that you created early on in the beginning, did you have a dog already back home, or is this your first dog?
I did. I had a huge poodle. He's probably the big, large-sized poodles at home. And so I brought Satoshi home and just introduced him slowly at the front door. And took maybe 5 minutes, and they were running around best friends. Satoshi has that. There's not a mean bone in his body. He wants to play with kids. He wants to play with other dogs and all that. And he really gets along with whoever.
So you've got Satoshi now back here in LA County. And was that the first dog of its kind in the region?
It was in LA County. It was the first one in LA County, yes. The FBI had one around the same time, and I knew the FBI had one. Her name was Ginger. Unfortunately, she passed away a couple years ago, but that was another dog that was being used as well. But then she passed away, and as far as a state or local agency, this was the first dog that was working for a state or local agencies.
And how long after you got back before the first call?
It was almost immediate. It was a case where deputies got in a vehicle pursuit, and we would switch off into a foot pursuit of some sort on the bank of a freeway. And the freeway, the bank went straight up, had bushes and stuff, and the suspect went up there. The deputy went up after him, and the deputy lost his body on camera up there somewhere. So I'm like, okay, this is our first time, and you guys are close to playing that.
Uh-oh, it's your boy.
Okay. Satoshi went right to him with me, and we went up and looked around. We didn't find it, unfortunately, but that was the first actual call that we did to find one of our own devices that got lost.
Who was it found?
It was, I'm not sure.
Then how soon after that? Next call. And then, when was the first call?
Yo, ALBR. How are you, baby? What's new? I'm talking to you. How are you? Do you know how to speak? Did you ever learn how to speak? How are you, Al? What's new, baby? Hey, how are you? We're watching UFC 299. Hello. Do you know what Twitter is? Hey, LV, how are you? Do you like MMA?
And searched the entire house and found what they found, but the dog went in after them.
We're watching UFC 299, dog.
See if they missed anything. Well, we're going through the house, and Satoshi hits on a magazine rack next to the bed of the suspect. The suspect sleeping next to his bed there. And if you can imagine, he had a magazine rack where the magazines just stand upright, and there's like 10 or 15 of them in there next to each other. Well, in there was a very thin laptop computer in the middle of these magazines. It looked like a magazine. And Satoshi would rather hit on that, boom. And so I was like, okay, let's investigate it further. And sure enough, there was a laptop sitting in there. The FBI retrieved that laptop, and it turns out that laptop was the suspect's laptop, and it had evidence on it that was important to the case.
Alderman Sergeant Pete Hitch from the LA County Sheriff's Department's Fraud and Cybercrime Bureau. But first, this is Unsolved with Steve Gregory on KFI AM 640. Time now for news update.
I'm Heather Brooker, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The delegation of LA officials in Paris are in Paris, France, to see how the city is preparing for their 2024 Olympic and Paralympic Games. President Biden has signed a package of bills into law to keep the government funded and avert a shutdown. Eli Lilly's new TV ad released before the Oscars is criticizing celebrities who use diabetes and weight loss drugs for cosmetic reasons. Southland weather from KFI: clear skies tonight with lows reaching around 50 in Metro LA and OC. Highs will be in the upper 60s on Sunday. Weather is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. We're going to check the 405 when we come back.
Enlightenment. Here I come. Free one-day delivery on backlogs and millions of other items. Whatever you're into, it's on Prime.
With all eyes on the NBA, the time is now to get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers who deposit $5 or more can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 back in the bonus bet. What's a no-sweat bet? It's just like getting an offensive board. Miss your first shot and you get another chance to score. That's right, get a bonus bet back in the amount of your original bet if your first bet doesn't hit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code IHEART. New customers can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 if your first bet loses. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code IHEART. The crown is yours. Must be 21 or older in Indiana only. One no-sweat bet per new customer. Issued as one bonus bet based on amount of initial losing bet. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit wagering and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Tanya here, and there are many ways that we can all help raise awareness around HIV, but maybe the most important is just talking about it openly and honestly. There's no cure for HIV, but there are effective treatments that, taken as prescribed, can help you live healthy with HIV and get to and stay undetectable, which means the amount of the virus is so low it can't be measured by lab tests. If you're living with HIV and not on treatment, talk to your doctor about treatment options. Learn more at treathivtoday.com. This message was sponsored by Gilead Sciences.
No matter what the day brings, count on Juicy Juice for the good stuff. Give kids the nutrients that real 100% fruit juice to help them conquer the day. Juicy Juice is only sweetened by the fruit. No sugar added, no high fructose corn syrup, and no artificial sweeteners. Available in family-sized bottles and juice boxes. Find Juicy Juice at your favorite local grocery retailer. Info at juicyjuice.com.
Want the lowest tire price period? Then save up to $80 with rebates on a set of 4 Michelin tires. Plus, only Bell Tire includes the entire life package, exclusive and extensive maintenance to help you get more miles on every tire you buy. Get up to $80 off with rebates on 4 Michelin with entire life. Visit our website to see how it all works for you. Buy online and you will save time. Get up to $80 off, get the lowest tire price period, and get entire life. Only at Bell Tire. See store or belltire.com for details. Restrictions apply.
This is a radio ad before we fix it. Dupilumab, prescription medicine for people 6 months and up with moderate to severe eczema and is not well controlled with topical prescription therapies. But since this is radio, you can't see the effects of eczema. You can't see how it helps you stay ahead of your eczema, or how it helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that could be causing eczema. You can't see how it helps heal your skin from within. But you can see how Dupixent can help you have clearer skin and less itch. Individual results may vary. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. It can help right away if you have sneezing, trouble breathing, or swelling of your face, lips, mouth, tongue, and throat. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain, vision changes, or blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. See for yourself. Ask your eczema specialist about Dupixent. Visit Dupixent.com or call 1-844-DUPIXENT. Executive Vice President, Worldwide Marketing at Warner Brothers Discovery. He's an unreachable audio marketing.
Although we're marketing at a very broad scale, it does include specific local markets, and that's the beauty of iHeart's network.
As the number one audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
The free iHeartRadio app is number one for music, radio, and podcasts. Discover a new podcast from our library of over 350,000 titles. Here's an iHeartRadio podcast preview. They asked me, could you do something for us? And I said, yeah, absolutely. And they said, would you want to meet them tomorrow? Where am I?
I'm Roman Farrow. The Catch and Kill podcast chronicles how I followed a trail of clues from the Weinstein story to others about the systems that protect powerful men accused of terrible crimes Hollywood, Washington, and beyond. But I didn't bring those stories to light on my own. A cast of compelling sources.
What up, trademark? How you living, Pam?
Shadowy undercover
Trademark.
operatives.
We're happy you're here. What's new? Talk to me. Let's hear you. Trademark. Speak.
There are the women who have come forward with their experiences of abuse.
There's only one barrier to him getting what he wants. I've got it out of here.
What up, trademark? How you living, Pam?
Lawyers who have to face off with the high-profile legal teams of
We're watching UFC 299.
And for the first time, you've never before heard recordings from the investigation. You could hear how it happened as we were living it in real time. Recording? The audio. Come on. The Caption Kill podcast.
Listen and follow this podcast for free on the iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
Do you still allow yourself to fall in love? Or do you do intentional dating and intentional love? Do you walk right into love because it's the right thing for you? Let's talk about why falling in love is what it's
I'm Stephen Gregory. This is Unsolved. Welcome back to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department's Fraud Cybercrime Bureau. We're in South Los Angeles County, an undisclosed location. We're speaking with Sergeant Ish, who's been telling us about one of the best tools that the Fraud Cybercrime Bureau has. It's Satoshi, Black Lab, who was trained in Indiana, and who's been partnered with Sergeant Ish now for, at least 3 years. And you were telling us about the first time you recall Satoshi got hit, and went through found a thin little laptop nestled between all these upright magazines. And you realized that this had the evidence you were looking for. That must have made you feel pretty cool.
It did. Just reinforces why we have the dog out there and what we do. It reinforces it with the detectives as well. Whoever's investigating that case, it's like, wow, this resource is really good. We would have missed that if the dog didn't find it for us. So, hopefully it led to a conviction, and this person doing these crimes to get some prison time.
Yeah, because that's kind of what you do. You just help gather the evidence, but you don't ever see it all the way through. You're just there in the gathering phase, right?
Correct. Majority of our call-outs are just in the gathering phase and find evidence. We do deploy our dog on our team as well. When our detectives have a case, we'll deploy the dogs there as well. Those that can follow through. But I would say 80% of our call-outs are with other agencies. State and local agencies call us out. The federal agencies call us out. Probation calls us out. And just a big list of agencies that use us.
Sergeant, let's see if I can ask this the right way. Has there ever been any kind of a challenge to having a canine looking for evidence? And does the canine have to be certified in any way? And when it comes to in the court?
As far as the court's concerned, there hasn't been a challenge in court yet. However, a narcotics dog, a narcotics canine has to be certified in a specific special way because they can generate probable cause to search. So if you run a dog around a car and that dog hits, a drug dog hits, if that dog's certified properly, that dog gives that officer or deputy the probable cause to search that car, right? Well, in this case, it's not illegal to own a flash drive or a cell phone or a laptop. It's not illegal in and of itself. So basically what the dog is to us, if you can imagine, is basically like us using a flashlight inside a house trying to find something. It just basically tells us, here's a place of interest, this is where you want to look, and we'll go and look and find that device.
But you're only going in when you're
Correct, all the keys to the castle apply as far as search and seizure is concerned. We just don't go and search, walk into someone's house and search, but we can't do that.
You were talking about 80% of your call-outs are other agencies, and do they they reimburse your agency?
No, we don't charge other agencies for our services. We're a state-funded task force, like I said, and part of our charter is to assist everybody. We're not just all about ourselves. We want to make sure that crime's crime, and if it doesn't matter if this police department, this federal agency catches the guy, as long as we can do justice somehow or another, we will help him. And that's satisfying.
What was the cost? Because you say a nonprofit helped you acquire Satoshi, so what was the total cost?
I believe the nonprofit with the dog and the initial training was about $11,000 for the dog and the right training and everything initially.
That doesn't seem like a lot for what you're getting in return, huh?
No, I thought that was, I mean, we didn't pay it, they did, but still, it seemed like a very good, reasonable price to get a dog. He was a year and a half when I got him, so he could work for 6, 7, 8 years, so that's a lot of work we're going to get out of Satoshi before he retires.
And how does that work then? Does Satoshi have to be, how can I say this, recalibrated? Does he have to keep going through more training? Or, and then as technology changes and maybe the coding changes, will he have to be retrained?
Sure, yeah.
It's always nice to see a guy earn the respect of the crowd.
All the time. We run through different training scenarios all the time. Once a year, we go back to Jordan and do a recertification. The certification isn't for legal purposes. Basically, it's for the trainer to take a look at us because it's just me and the dog. I might not be seeing things that I'm messing up on or I could do better. So it's basically an opportunity to go back to the trainer and get tightened up on certain things and a refresher, and maybe some new skills that the trainer has developed that he wants to teach us. This last time, we taught Satoshi how to find the cell phone underwater, 18 inches of moving water in a stream.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't believe it, but he did it. And
The scent comes up through water?
it doesn't come, well, it does, but I guess dogs smell in a different way. He was tasting the water. So I would start him downstream from
Bimba, how do you live in Pimp?
and work upstream.
Bimba, we're live in the
To start searching, and he
We are
would start
live
searching
in
the stick
the
of his nose in the water, taste the
24/7
water, boom, and then he'd pick it up.
Empire of Amsterdam and email Twitter. Yo dog, if you haven't iOS device, you can watch UFC 299 live. And I like you so much, and I'm such an amazing person that, yo, what up, baby? How are you, Bimba?
Probably a safe bet that you're busy.
Very busy. I started to get a lot of call-outs.
I gotcha. Apologies on that. Maybe one day soon, hopefully. Well, you can watch it live in here. We're glad you're here, Bimba. I love having you here. Bimba, you're one of my favorite people in the world. Like, if I had to rank all the people in the world, you'd be up there. And I also want you to know, because it's very important for you to be aware, that I like the emojis that you have. Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, and Eden, baby.
Right. So I'd say maybe 2 or 3 a month is what
Thank you, baby.
I get called out on usually, and those are all day events when we get called out. Satoshi,
Yeah, but then on top of your other duties.
on top of my other duties.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah, I'm in Airbnb, baby.
Because you're a bureau.
I can't even come up with a number. It's when we get cases, I have cases in my buffer right now, that I need to look at. I probably have 20 of them that I need to do something with.
Do something with this next year, talk with us.
Yeah, well,
No, but you keep very, very busy, and you have a lot of unsolved ones.
we do a lot of, and that's one of the things with cybercrime. If the cyber criminal is good enough and does his job the right way, it's extremely difficult for us to catch him. So a lot of our cases go.
Okay, when we come back, we'll talk more
Bimbo.
about issue first. This is Unsolved with Steve Gregory.
You sexy.
8640 time for news update. You can listen to KFI everywhere. Like you haven't noticed. KOST HD2
Los Angeles,
live everywhere on the internet radio.
Google Voice, Swanee, and Heather Brooker live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. LAPD responded in force to a phoned-in report of a woman with a gun in a van near an anti-state Scientology demonstration on Sunset Boulevard. Police officers checked the area and found no one with a gun. They said the call was generated by the voice. The detectives are investigating. Police are calling it a squatting call or hoax to generate a police response.
Some people that believe in this for the small address tax.
Reliability's new TV ad released before the Oscars is criticizing celebrities who use diabetes and weight loss drugs for cosmetic reasons.
These are not medications that are out there for vanity use. These are really good for people that are dealing with this disease.
James Zarbinos with the Obesity Action Coalition says it's time to get serious about what these medications are actually for. Commercial shows people getting dressed up in sequins while crews roll out a red carpet. Doctors say the misuse of Zepbound and Ozempic has created a shortage and a spike in prices for people who need the drug most. The Oscars are, of course, tomorrow. 2 United Airlines flights have had to make emergency landings. One jet skidded off of the taxiway while landing in Houston yesterday. Another United flight in Los Angeles, originally flying from San Francisco to Mexico City, was forced to make
In March, Jersey Mike's turns one of the sons, a charitable donation.
On March 27th is Jersey Mike's annual day of giving, where 100% of sales from every son are given back to the community.
And to kick off all that giving, Peter gave me
Saturday, 5 is back to walk up with Marcus Warren and a high-stakes matchup of ranked heavyweights.
Join us Wednesday, March 27th for Jersey Mike's Dave Giving via Silverbook.
with all eyes on the NBA. The time is now to get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers who deposit $5 or more can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 back in a bonus bet. What's a no-sweat bet? It's just like getting an offensive board. Miss your first shot and you get another chance to score. That's right, get a bonus bet back in the amount of your original bet if your first bet doesn't hit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code IHEART. New customers can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 if your first bet loses. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code IHEART. The crown is yours. Must be 21 or older. Indiana only. One no-sweat bet per new customer issued as one bonus bet based on amount of initial losing bet. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit wagering and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Only problem, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
The President Biden signed the bills into law this morning.
We will keep important programs funded for moms and kids, for veterans, for the environment, for housing, and so much more. Because both sides cooperated today, we've taken a major step towards our goal of fully funding the government.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says Congress will return to Washington next week to work on passing another 6 government funding bills that expire on March 22nd. Caltrans has closed a busy freeway interchange in Orange County for 57 hours.
Better known as the infamous El Toro Y, the northbound I-5 connector to the northbound 405 is closed all weekend until 5 a.m. Monday morning. Caltrans has a nifty detour set up for you. The Clippers host the Bulls downtown at the Crypts, and then later, Kings host the Dallas Stars for some hockey there. Over in Inglewood tonight, Madonna continues her celebration tour at the Kia Forum. With your weekend watch out for traffic trouble spots, Will Cole Schreiber, KFI the Sky.
Right now we've got a crash on the 405 in Culver City.
Southbound side of National Highway has slowed down also on the 405 side of West LA, 405 north of Wilshire, stop and go from Venice Boulevard. Look out in Griffith Park, 5 southbound between those Felix Boulevard and Mission Road. See some slow traffic there. Install working Lady Ratto area 210 eastbound. This on the off-ramp of Pepper. It's blocking the right shoulder. Can't find the sky. Let's get you there faster. I'm Jonathan Weiss.
Dental implants. That's what you need when your teeth sadly fail you, when they fall out, hurt, when your teeth embarrass you, hinder your ability to eat, talk, socialize, kiss, get a promotion, or make you feel sick. Thousands of people like you are choosing dental implants from dentalimplantgps.com. Dental Implants GPS Full Mouth Dental Implants. Trusted by over 350 local dentists who refer their patients to the elite specialist team at DentalImplantsGPS.com. Call 800-849-6700 when researching the right provider. Doctor's expertise is critical. Price, time of treatment, location are secondary to trusting the right team to provide a lifelong smile, getting you off the expensive hamster wheel of dental fixes. GPS offers the highest level of specialists, several locations, and competitive pricing. Right now, radio listeners take advantage of special pricing from DentalImplantsGPS.com. Call 800-849-6700. That's 800-849-6700.
Southland weather from KFI. Clear skies tonight with lows reaching around 50 in Metro LA and OC. Highs will be in the upper 60s on Sunday. Tonight, mostly clear with lows in the upper 40s at the beaches, and lows will be in the low 40s in Riverside and Miami. Lows will be down towards the low 30s in Antelope Valley. Right now it's 60 in Beverly Hills, 62 in San Diego, 60 in Dayton Point, and 64 in Chino. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Heather Brooker.
Listen on the free radio app for all your music, sports, talk, and podcasts. Free. Sounded so good. KFI AM 640. KFI AM 640. Live and on demand. The radio app. This is Unsolved with Steve Gregory.
Try to set up a triangle. All the birds coming back.
Welcome back. We're inside the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department's Fraud and Cybercrime Bureau. Undisclosed location, south of LA, talking with Sergeant Clint Fish. And we've been learning about Satoshi, one of the new secret weapons inside the Fraud and Cybercrime Bureau. And before the break, Sergeant, we talked about in the very beginning, he would get called out to maybe three calls a month. But we were talking during the break, and you said that now, because everyone wants in on the action, you had as many as 12 calls a month.
That's correct. Yeah, initially it was about 3 to 4, but as the word spread to other agencies and we got out there about the effectiveness of these dogs, currently we're running between 9 and 12 deployments a month.
And so, is that too much for one person and one dog?
It was getting to be, yes, it was getting to be. It was getting to a point where I was away doing that more than I was here supervising the investigative team.
I mean, that's an awful lot of work for just one person and one dog, right?
Yes, it began to become quite burdensome on our deployments. I was away doing deployments while I was here. So at that point is when we went back to the drawing board and added another dog to the team.
So when would this have been?
This would have been about a year and a half ago, is when the second dog came on board.
So in 2022?
2022, yes.
Okay. So how did you decide you needed another dog?
It just became a necessity based on the workload that we had. We needed to be able to have 2 dogs to
one moment, friends. You're just refreshing the page.
We were
You have
generating.
to do so once every hour or so.
As I became more versed in how to work these dogs and how to deploy them,
What
it
up,
became
hello?
evident that
How
with
you
these
doing, baby?
particular dogs and the way they work, it was there was 2 reasons. One is having 2 handlers in the room when one dog is working.
What up, baby? Don't worry. We're loading it. It's coming. Keep your pants on.
That this dog is doing when I'm paying attention to other things. So it gives us a
We got it.
better opportunity to pick up very, very slight behaviors that the dog might do when it thinks it might have smelled something, but not sure. Like I said, it's a very faint smell. So sometimes the dog will come across it and maybe just move his head or eyes to
All right, here we go. Let's get that sound going, baby.
Discount it and keep on going. Well,
Give me that sound.
The dog picked something up, but it was so faint that they weren't sure, and it kept moving. Well, the second handler will pick that up, and then we'll readdress that particular area.
So if I understand this now, whereas you were one team with one dog, one handler, now the call has 2 dogs, 2 handlers?
Correct. And another reason why we did that, yes, we would roll 2 dogs to a location, especially a bigger house. If the house is 2,500 square feet, 3,000, 4,000 square feet, these dogs, like I said, that odor is very faint, So these dogs are exchanging a lot of air and working really hard to pick up these scents. They're really trying. And what that does, it makes them tired really quick. So we can actually wet a dog through a couple rooms, then go put him away and back in the Tahoe, let him relax, cool down, and bring the second dog out and continue the mission, and then swap them back and forth. And it's more efficient than doing it that way.
He's working right in front of his corner man, Henry Hook, Daniel Evangelista,
Interest in doing the job. They're breathing really hard when they're not trying to detect something. Maybe they don't want to jump up onto an object that we want them to jump onto to smell. Different things like that we can tell. And just by knowing the dog. I know this dog. I know how he looks when he's motivated, he's ready to go. And I know what his mannerisms are when he's fatigued.
There's a direct connection to Satoshi and this show. In fact, the very first episode of Unsolved with Steve Gregory, episode 101, was Anthony Velasquez and his father Manuel, the father and son that were charged with the murder of 3 people. And I remember being on scene in East LA on very early morning, and there you were with Satoshi. You remember that call?
I do. Yes, I do. That was when our homicide bureau called us out. The system on the services and search warrants that they had related to a murder investigator. And we went out there and they had us look through a house, I believe, and a couple cars.
Do you remember, I don't want to jeopardize the investigation because I believe it's still being adjudicated. I don't think it's going to take time, but do you remember if that was a successful day for you guys?
I do remember the dog did a little bit. We found some things, whether or not they were collected as evidence or they were any evidentiary value on it, I don't know. That's one of the things about our job is we go out and find this stuff for the investigators, but a lot of times we don't hear back as to what the result of that find was. Sometimes we will. We've got an email, we just got one recently from Long Beach PD that they told us that we assisted 2 years ago on a case where there's a child case, and the suspect, Satoshi found some stuff, and the suspect ended up getting 24 years in prison behind that. So she fed us back information as to what happened, what the outcome was, but most of the time we don't hear back.
So, one of the common themes that you've described, even going right up to, I guess, Dog Zero, Canine Zero Bear, has to do with child pornography. That seems to be one of your bigger calls.
It is, yes. A lot of our calls, I would say the majority of our call-outs have to do with child exploitation, child abuse, like child sexual exploitation, things like that. The organization OUR, who donated dogs to us, they're an anti-human trafficking organization, so their main charter purpose for the dogs is for that. And if you think about it, somebody who is dealing in child pornography, they call it CSAM now, is a new technical name for it, they'll hide them. Little micro SD cards and things like that, and tape them up under a table and put them somewhere where a human being going into a house, a 3,000 square foot house, looking for one micro SD card, it's not going to happen. You're just not going to find it if it's really secreted in a place to where that suspect doesn't want you to find it. But the dogs come in and they find it. So it's child pornography and child exploitation is a big part of our mission.
When we come back, I want to talk about some more cases that Satoshi and your new dog. What's your new dog's name?
Our new dog is Zypher. Yes, and Sergeant Sergio Reyes is a handler for Zypher.
Male or female?
She's a female. She's about a year younger.
So she got a boy and girl.
Got a boy and a girl, and they're best friends.
Okay, very good. So when we come back, I want to talk about some cases that your canine team has helped solve. But first, this is Unsolved with Steve Gregory on KFI AM 640. Time now for news.
I'm Heather Brooker, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A large oil sheen off the coast of Huntington Beach has produced some tar balls on the beach and left at least 5 birds in the care of wildlife officials. The U.S. Coast Guard says the oil sheen is about 2.5 miles wide. 2 people were killed in a crash involving several cars in the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw area. The LA Fire Department said the crash happened this afternoon at the intersection of West Coliseum Street and La Brea Avenue. 5 firefighters were hospitalized after an illegal cannabis operation caught fire in downtown LA. Officials say they all experienced a burning sensation on their faces. The fire was eventually put out by 150 firefighters. We're going to check on the 5 when we come back.
Every March, Jersey Mike's turns money from subs into charitable donations.
And March 27th is Jersey Mike's annual day of giving, where 100% of sales from every sub are given back to the community.
And to kick off all that giving, Peter gave me an apron. I'm on.
Look at Andy. We've got some cement though.
Now I know why you gave me the apron. Join us Wednesday, March 27th for Jersey Mike's Day of Giving. Be a sub of book.
I'm so glad you're here. Been before the
Cozy up to your bed. Keep your shared moment special and protect your lives. And next time, shop next door for the protection now online and in store.
Catalina, these fighters sets are brought to you by Roadhouse. Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor face off in the new movie Roadhouse, streaming soon on Prime Video. And Catalina Land is now happy in Machado Gary for a long-lasting winning streak in the UFC's welterweight division, which is absolutely loaded as they all chase down the champion, Leon Rocky. So many stars are up tonight. He walks with us here for UFC 299. Lauren Ingram, David Njoku, the NFL well represented here tonight.
Try Neuromat,
Welterweight contender for remember the name Muhammad Ali in his championship.
memory and cognitive function, but not all magnesium supplements
As is the future.
Neuromat is formulated with an ultra-absorbable form of magnesium, making it a brilliant choice to provide the maximum benefits for your brain. So, boost your brain performance, memory, and attention with Neuromat today.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line. Plus, a $100 Visa rewards card, all while saving fare. For big speed, big reliability, and big savings, get Spectrum One today. Offer only available online. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all states. Restricted supply.
With all eyes on the NBA, the time is now to get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers who deposit $5 or more can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 back in a bonus bet. What's a no-sweat bet? It's just like getting an offensive board. Miss your first shot and you get another chance to score. That's right. Get a bonus bet back in the amount of your original bet if your first bet doesn't hit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code IHEART. New customers can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 if your first bet loses. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code IHEART. The crown is yours. Must be 21 or older. Indiana only. One no-sweat bet per new customer. Issued as one bonus bet based on amount of initial losing bet. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit wagering and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, it's Junior. Today, black folks in our community are still disproportionately affected by HIV. But there is something we can do about it. There's no cure for HIV, but there are effective treatments that, take it as prescribed, can help you get healthy from HIV and get to and stay undetectable, which means the amount of virus is so low it can't be misrepresented. If you're living with HIV and not on treatment, talk to your doctor about treatment. Learn more at treatHIVtoday.com. This message was sponsored by Gilead Sciences.
No matter what the day brings, count on Juicy Juice for the good stuff. Get Juicy Juice's real 100% fruit juice to help them conquer the day. Juicy Juice is only sweetened by fruit with no sugar added, no high fructose corn syrup, and no artificial sweeteners. Available in family-sized bottles and juice boxes. Find Juicy Juice at your favorite local grocery retailer. Info at juicyjuice.com.
This sun season, evolve your sun care with new Banana Boat 360 coverage with advanced control mist. It's a new way to spray. An all-new bottle means an all-new mist experience that smells great and is incredibly light on your skin. long-lasting banana boat protection plus intracellular sweat-resistant sport formula to kids SPF 50+. Shop Banana Boat 360 Mist at Walmart, Target, or Amazon.
This is a radio ad for the prescription medicine for people 6 months and up with moderate to severe eczema that is not well controlled with topical prescription matter. But since this is radio, you can't see the effects of it. You can't see how it helps you stay ahead of your eczema, or how it helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that could be causing eczema. You can't see how it helps you lose weight from pain, but you can see how your eczema can help you at the clearest school message. Looking to results needed. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Get help right away if you have nasal drug freezing or swelling of your face, lips, mouth, and tongue. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain, vision changes, or blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. See for yourself. Ask your eczema specialist about Dupixent. Visit Dupixent.com or call 1-844-988-4244. Stories from the frontiers of marketing and marketing season 6. Join iHeartMedia Chairman and CEO as he analyzes the math and magic of marketing, sitting down with today's most gifted disruptors. Marketing school, digital marketing, online marketing tips, actionable digital marketing lessons, learned through years of being in the trenches. Office hours with Mike Stack. Mike sits down with the world's most important chief executives to answer your most pressing questions about leadership, career, and life. Hear these podcasts and more on your free iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
We'll get back to more about self-improvement, but I want to take this opportunity to basically lay out all of the ways you participate. And what I mean by that is whether you give us a show idea, is there a case you might have been involved with, a family member or a friend, or even part of a story of someone that might have been involved with an unsolved case or a crazy case or something that needs some attention. You can reach out to us, pound 250. There's a proprietary phone system set up for us and all of our advertisers here can buy. Pound 250 on your cell phone. You say the keyword unsolved, you can just give us a brief synopsis of what you're talking about. Someone from my team will get back to you. Also, unsolved at iHeartMedia.com is our email. It's unsolved at iHeartMedia.com or always go online at KFID640.com, keyword unsolved. And don't forget our podcast on the iHeartRadio app. Stay right here. More unsolved coming up.
Yes, I know. I have a calm demeanor. You know, it's your job basically to push people beyond their comfort zones. It's good to make them feel as safe as possible. Like an open heart surgeon or your own. You'll do fine. No worries. We got calm with Dean Sharp, the house whisperer right now on KFIN 640.
Sterling, by the way, moving up to 45 to face Calvin Cater, and our feature premium Yuri Prohaska taking on Alexander Rockich. And that is great news, by the way. Mike Marcano and David Turner after that to UFC 300. You can watch all of that on ESPN. All right, the moment of the last Joe Rogan and Mark
Live and on demand on the iHeartRadio app. I'm Steve Gregory, and this is Unsolved. Worth Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department's Fraud and Cybercrimes Bureau were inside of a building in an undisclosed location in South Lake County. It's all part of Southern California's state-funded high-tech task force. During exam, Sergeant Sergio Reyes, he's the handler for Cypher, the latest addition to the K-9 program here at the Fraud and Cybercrime Bureau. And Sergeant Hish said before the break, Cypher is a female, and now they have a boy and a girl on the K-9 unit. Sergeant, Sergeant, let's talk a little bit about Cypher's addition to the K-9 unit. Did Cypher find you, or did you find Cypher?
And of course,
There's a fun story about that. Cypher was attacked by Facebook for Really? What's up, your partner?
I met my daughter for the first time when I went to ADM to pick her up. And my flight was delayed, so the handler Todd had already dropped off the other dogs for the other handlers. So I had to drive over to his house to pick her up. I got there a little late, so when I got there, he said, okay, I'm going to introduce you to Cypher. And he brought it from his garage. She was Polish, and as soon as she saw me, she started barking. And, you know, he start talking to me, make sure that I don't miss him, make sure that everything, you know, that she relaxes, everything's going to be good. And this dog was not great. She just kept barking and barking and barking, growling. And I'm looking at her like, oh man, this is interesting. Todd looked at Cyphering, and I was like, look, I've never seen this before. How about the dog if you want? And I said, no, this is going to be my dog. I like her already. So, put her in the kennel, give me a bag of food, and off we went. So, yeah, Cypher, I don't like my face off the first time.
And now I assume you're much better.
Yes, that dog, I've already said in the previous segment, we'll go to find my dog. Actually, I told her to climb up a tree. We were at dog park. I messing around to get up the tree. She got up the tree, and I literally had to bring her down.
Wow. Sergeant, how long have you been in cyber crimes?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. And where'd you come from?
I came from, the majority of my career has been gangs.
And so, what attracted you to cyber crimes?
Well, I promoted and decided to detective. I wanted to run a detective team. And cyber is something that I knew was an up-and-coming crime. And a lot of the gangsters nowadays, they're actually diving pretty deep into cyber because it's a lot easier to get a lot of money in just one hit.
So, did you know when you were promoting and coming into this unit that you were going to be a canine handler? Or was that something you didn't find out till you got here?
I had no idea. And once I got here, that's what happened.
Now it sounds like you're having a good time with it.
Oh, I'm having a blast.
Yeah. Tell us about your first big case with Cypher.
Well, my first big case is the one that actually my partner spoke of earlier. However, I want to talk about one where it's a little more specific, just my dog.
Oh, okay, sure.
My partner was busy with the team, which is the detective team, and I deployed on a federal probation case. Federal probation, people that are on federal probation for CSAM, session of CSAM, they are allowed to have electronics. It's limited disclosed.
And talk again, remind everyone what CSAM stands for.
It stands for Child Sexual Abuse Material.
Okay, that's fine. And which is short for child porn. Yeah, okay.
So, they are allowed to have one device that is monitoring. And for this particular case, he was a podcaster, so he was allowed to have multiple devices as long as it's disclosed. We went to the room. This room was in an apartment in the Hollywood area, and it was a small 600, maybe 500 square foot apartment, very small, student apartment, but it was with electronics. Not only was he a podcaster, he had the electronics to do the podcast. He was a collector, so he had all the Nintendos, all the PlayStations. It was just electronics galore. I looked at the room, looked at the cases, and I said, I was hoping to search with my dogs. It's not going to do us any good here. And the reason why is because when she gets in here, she's going to be inundated with so much scent that she's just going to probably sit in the middle of the room and tell me, here it is, find it. Because it was just, it smelled everywhere. So I looked at the room, and my dog has to, on the room, the canine room, the dog has to be rewarded every time they get to the toilet. If not, the canine becomes a big time. So I sanitized the bathroom, I went and I snatched the device, and I went in there, and there I had to go find her. So she went, she found the device, she got the reward, she was good, she went. As soon as I opened the door to the bathroom, she ran towards the closet and took a hard dive into the corner. And I kind of got a little shocked because I said, hey, did you check here? One of the agents said, yeah, we checked there, and there was a box full of something boxes that didn't need to go into. So I figured the room was full of electronics and people were electronics. So I took my dog out and I went to the concrete to relax. And then I thinking going back on the box, that was a pretty hard time for that box. So I went and I looked, and when I found in those boxes, there was a tuner, like for guitar. Mm-hmm. My dog had that kind of reaction for a guitar tuner. So I started to pat down the shirts, and I found
we're going to take a break. When we come back, Sergeant Reyes is going to tell us exactly what they found because of his dog Cypher. But first, this is Unsolved with Steve Gregory on KFI 8640 Time and Phrase.
I'm Heather Brooker, live KFI 24-hour news. President Biden has signed a package of bills into law to keep the government funded and avert a shutdown. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the bills include funding necessary not only to keep the government funded, but they provide much-needed money for programs and resources the country depends on.
After months of hard work, we have good news for the country.
With all eyes on the NBA, the time is now to get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers who deposit $5 or more can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 back in bonus bet. What's a no-sweat bet? It's just like getting an offensive award. It's your first shot, and you get another chance to score. That's right, get a bonus bet back in the amount of your original bet if your first bet doesn't hit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code IHEART. New customers can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 if your first bet loses. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code IHEART. The crown is yours. Must be 21 or older, Indiana only. One no-sweat bet per new customer. Issued as one bonus bet based on amount of initial reason bet. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit wagering and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.DraftKings.com/promos. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Tanya here, and there are many ways that we can all help raise awareness around HIV, but maybe the most important is just talking about it openly and honestly. There's no cure for HIV, but there are effective treatments that, taken as prescribed, can help you live healthy with HIV and get to and stay undetectable, which means the amount of the virus is so low it can't be measured by lab tests. If you're living with HIV and not on treatment, talk to your doctor about treatment options. Learn more at treathivtoday.com. This message was sponsored by Gilead Sciences.
No matter what the day brings, have a juicy juice for the Juicy juice is your focus on the This subseason, involve yourself here with new Banana Boat 360 coverage. Advanced control mist. It's a new way to spray. An all-new bottle means an all-new mist experience. Spray spray is incredibly light on your skin. Control the coverage you can tap the jet lightly to cover targeted areas. Or hold for long, continuous spray. Ensuring long-lasting banana boat protection. Featuring novel sweat-resistant sport formula to kids SPF 50+. Shop Banana Boat 360 mist at Walmart, Target, or Amazon. Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating with Guinness and alcohol. Guinness is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a medicine. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help with more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, adding peace, comfort, and pleasure. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not take resistance or release the tube or Do not take this if you are not on kitchen. Get any time for development of your stomach, especially for your blood stools. The most common symptom is diarrhea sometimes. If it's severe stomach ache, access and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach ache, pain, and swelling.
Imagine what could relief from IBS-C mean for you. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at Linzess.com or call 1-800-LINCESS.
Jacob you've been to the truck episode walking for 424 Mr. Jacob Conway Jr. with an extra side order of Mark Thompson, Tuesdays 4 to 7 on KFI.
Next month, we want similarities size-wise, but a 2-inch reach advantage with Kevin Trailblazer Hall going out for the introduction. Inside where we
The iHeartRadio app. This is Unsolved with Steve Gregory. We've been talking to Sergeant Sergio Reyes at the LA County Sheriff's Department's Fraud and Cybercrime Bureau. And before the break, we kind of left a cliffhanger. To set the scene again, you and your dog Cypher, which is the latest addition to the canine program here at Cybercrimes. You were in a small apartment in Hollywood, a podcaster who was sort of on, it was probation, on probation. And you say that Cypher literally dived at a closet in the corner, and you found a a guitar tuner. And you thought that was a very, very unusual thing for your dog to pick up on. But I guess there was something else going on, right?
Yes. So, because I know my dog's behavior and I train with her constantly, I knew that particular dive was a little strange for her to just have done for a guitar tuner. So I wanted to explore a little further. I pulled out the guitar tuner, I started looking at it, and I was pretty convinced that wasn't why she went back there to try to find that stuff. So I started to pat down the clothes. And when I patted down the clothes, there was this jacket. And I patted down the jacket, and I felt what appeared to be a phone. So I called the case agent, and I said, hey, did you guys check over here? Come take a look at this jacket. So the case agent came up and opened up the jacket and retrieved a phone. The phone was one of those phones. It was a Samsung style phone, but they had put tape on the front camera and on the back camera. In itself, a little weird. The guy had multiple phones of his own, but this one was secured in a jacket. It turns out down the line, about 2-3 weeks later, they were able to crack that phone and found several videos containing CSAM and several, if not thousands, of images. So now this guy's looking at approximately 35 additional years for possession of that on that particular phone.
And wasn't that a red flag when you said he had multiple phones of his own?
Well,
that's kind of a red flag, isn't it?
It is, but he was disclosing those. So those phones were monitored, and he disclosed those phones. That phone was not disclosed. It was his possession.
And was there ever an idea of why he had cameras covered?
I didn't interview him, but I can assume.
What'd you assume?
Well, he was paranoid. He thought they were watching him.
Okay, interesting. So that was a success story for you. But it's kind of funny though, because Cypher kind of went one way, and then you just took it and kind of went to its completion.
Correct.
Yeah. So, which is better, the female dog or the male dog?
Well, they both have their strengths and weaknesses. My dog will destroy a room because she has a semi-aggressive nerve. And she will have, you could put a device in the middle of a room, in the middle of a table, with multiple stuff around it, and she will clear the table out, take that stuff and throw it out. Satoshi won't. Satoshi will come around and very meticulously, very gingerly take care of it like that. Cypher's was better in the open, and Satoshi's better out in like small confined spaces. Satoshi doesn't like to climb high stuff. Cypher doesn't care. She'll go wherever I tell her to go. So they have the strengths and weaknesses, and that's why my partner and I are such a great team, and we sometimes we'll sweep a room twice just to make sure that we didn't miss anything, because we want to make sure we take everything out of it.
Are you ever told what the dog was up to or a previous owner before you get it?
Yes, as a matter of fact, both of our dogs are second career dogs. My dog was trained to be an assistance dog, but she failed that program because she's extremely protective of the handler. I could sit here talking to you. If she was laying here and someone came up behind, she would probably try to bite them, which is when I was introduced.
When you first met her.
Yes. And so I know exactly what it is, to be on that end of Cypher. Satoshi was trained to be a CNI dog, but he has this affinity for cats, so you can imagine what happens if he is leading someone on the road and there goes a cat. It can be very bad or crazy.
Yeah. So about how many cases do you think you've had since you've been on board?
Since I just technically since May, and I can't give you an exact number since May because I just happened to look at this and there's been 38 cases that have happened since May.
38 cases. And how many of those are LA County Sheriff's cases as opposed to outside agencies?
There is 2. Sure.
Wow. Really?
Yes.
I would think you guys would be a lot busier with the county.
We would like to be, but unfortunately, we are not. I think a lot of it has to do with just the fact that this is all new, and we have a hard time adapting to new things that work. would like for the department to use this more. However, we can't force them to, so we make our services available to whoever wants us.
Oh, I see. I guess you're only subject to being called out by either homicide or major crimes or somebody, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then, are you subject to being called out at all hours of the night?
Yes, we make ourselves available to whenever they need us to. Generally, they give us the courtesy to, hey, we're planning this, we're planning that, and you're available for that particular days. We're going to do a search warrant or probation. However, if it happens to be an emergency, which has happened a couple times, we will roll out the drop hat.
Sergeant, when the dog is sniffing for electronics, and it's all based on that faint scent that is emitted from the hard drive of the device, or the hard drive, does that scent ever dissipate over time, or does it always stay the same?
There is residual. There will be. It will gradually dissipate. Yes, and that's where having two handlers will help, because when I talked about earlier, certification, where the dog would look one way or maybe turn its head, we call it a fish hook. It catches the attention of the dog, but the dog's going to go for where there is the stronger odor. So if there's an odor further down, that secondary alert is what we call it. It's what I would, particularly if I'm Satoshi searching and I'm there with my partner, I will focus on that to try to see what's on that and got its attention. So yes, in short, the same.
But then if the memory is activated again, does that re-energize the scent?
Well, it's not. The scent's just the same. It doesn't have to be heated. It doesn't have to be working. It doesn't have to be connected. It's just the chips are coated with that particular chemical. So, just like anything, if it sits in an area for too long, it's going to impregnate that scent from that area. Eventually, it will dissipate, but the dog's just doing it. So, if you set your phone up in your bed, my dog will hit there because that's where the phone was.
Sergeant, I really appreciate your insight. Thank you so much. When we come back, we're going to wrap up with Sergeant Pete Hitch. But first, this is Unsolved with Steve Gregory. I'm KFI AM 640. Time now for news.
I'm Heather Brooker, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Los Angeles officials are saying millions of dollars in congressional funding is headed towards local community projects after President Biden signed the latest transportation and housing bill. And a stretch of Hollywood Boulevard is closed to the public as preparations continue for tomorrow's Academy Awards. That ceremony will start at 4 o'clock instead of the usual 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. And speaking of clocks, let's set your clock ahead an hour tonight before you go to bed. It's daylight savings time. It officially starts at 2 a.m. That means your weekend will be just 1 hour shorter than usual. We are going to check on the 5 when we come back.
Hi, I'm Drew Barrymore, and let me tell you how Tidy Cats simplifies litter care while giving your cats what they deserve. Do you have a finicky feline like mine? Peach, you heard me. Try Tidy Care Comfort with smaller granules for a gentle paw feel. Or maybe you want to keep an extra eye on your cat's health. That's what Tidy Care Alert is all about. It uses color-changing crystals to help alert you of potential health concerns. Who knew that keeping an eye on my cat's health could be so simple?
TaxAct knows you don't look forward to taxes. TaxAct doesn't even look forward to taxes, and TaxAct is a tax software company. It's basically TaxAct's own thing. If TaxAct did things over, maybe TaxAct would end up teaching kindergarten or leading fly fishing tours. But that's a different story for a different year. So why don't we just agree that taxes aren't fun, but you still have to do them? TaxAct's filing software can help you do that. TaxAct, let's get them over with.
With all eyes on the NBA, the time is now to get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers who deposit $5 or more can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 back in a bonus bet. What's a no-sweat bet? It's just like getting an offensive board. Miss your first shot, and you get another chance to score. That's right, get a bonus bet back in the amount of your original bet if your first bet doesn't hit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code IHEART. New customers can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 if your first bet loses. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with promo Promo code IHEART. The crown is yours. Must be 21 or older. Indiana only. One no sweat bet for new customer. Issued with one bonus bet. Face and amount of initial losing bet. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit wagering and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, it's Junior. Today, black folks in our community are still disproportionately affected by HIV. But there is something we can do about it. There's no cure for HIV, but there are effective treatments that, taken as prescribed, can help you live healthy with HIV and get to and stay undetectable, which means the amount of virus is so low it can't be measured by lab tests. If you're living with HIV and not on treatment, talk to your doctor about treatment options. Learn more at treathivtoday.com. This message was sponsored by Gilead Sciences.
No matter what the day brings, count on Juicy Juice for the good stuff. Give kids the nutrients of real 100% fruit juice to help them conquer the night. Juicy Juice is only sweetened by the fruit, with no sugar added, no high fructose corn syrup, and no artificial sweeteners. Available in family-size bottles and juice boxes. Find Juicy Juice at your favorite local grocery retailer. Info at juicyjuice.com.
As the number one
James Slammer.
media gives you access to all
James Kaminsky. Dude, you're here for the right time. This is UFC. Oh, so who's got it going? Ro's got it going. Damn, Ro knows what's up. Damn, good for you, Ro. How are you, James? Excellent. Well, it's the first time for you to have gotten home because we're watching UFC 299. Ro's not too good. Sugar Shane O'Malley. Sugar Sean O'Malley. In the heavyweight, or the bantamweight or whatever. And anyone else? The Benoit guy? I don't know. I don't know that much about this, so I named all the people I know who are Falcon playing. I agree. Exactly. You can thank Ro for that. Ro's got it going on. I can watch this in my room, and I'm watching it on Ro's screen so clear. Ro, how you doing? Do you speak, Ro? I bet Ro is just a dick slinging motherfucker. With that kind of quality? With that kind of quality, dog? As a woman, I don't think I've ever been more attracted to a man. I don't even know if Ro is a man. Ro might be a woman. As a man, I've never been so attracted to a woman. I've never been so attracted to a stream in my entire life as I have been a Ro stream. This is so baller. I can see these motherfuckers fighting from a mile away. Aw, dog. This is like Dick Tracy watches. This is amazing. This shit is amazing. Bob Dobbs, are you seeing this shit? Bob Dobbs. Bob fucking Dobbs. Are you seeing this shit? All of it. Ro, we got the fight. We got James Kaminsky here. Dog, I'm pretty pissed off. I just bought a new iPhone, not like a super expensive one, like $140 because I wanted to use. I figured that Twitter would sometimes the video goes out after like 2 hours of streaming, and I thought it was because of my phone. So like, oh, if I have a newer iPhone, it'll be fixed. Nope, it's something on Twitter's end. So that sucks. I can take it back, no big deal. I'll probably keep it. But I just wanted to say that. Alright. Glad everybody got to hear that story. Who do we have in this fight? I'm trying to see this fight. We got Holland and Page. I'm going to go with... I don't either. I don't either. I watch them, but I mean, there are a lot of people of whom to keep track. And just like, I don't have time for that. Basically, like, I can't tell you right now who the overall champion is. Even though I probably watched the match that made the overall champion. I think it was that Lomachenko or whatever. There was some, like the heavyweight guy. I don't know who. I'm going to look it up actually. Because actually I'm wrong. That guy wasn't a heavyweight champ. Somebody else. Okay, so we're going to look this one up. Who is the UFC heavyweight champ? The UFC heavyweight champ right now is John Jones. No, it's not. John Jones retired in something, I think. Oh, it is John Jones. Who did you say? I remember that guy. Yeah, John Jones. I think John Jones is going to go down as the greatest UFC fighter of all time. The reason why I say that is, I mean, I don't know a lot about it. If you ask, like, if you look at his record is ridiculous. It's, okay, he is 27, 1-1. His only loss is by disqualification, and it was a bullshit disqualification. He basically, you're not allowed to come down, or at the time, you weren't allowed to come down with your elbow, like, perpendicular to the ground, basically like at a 90-degree angle to someone's head. Like, you used to not be able to do that. And he did it, or they said that he did it during the fight. Even though I've seen it, it's not necessarily, it's pretty clear what he did, and I think it should have been considered clean. And they disqualified him for that. Even though later on they made that type of move legal. So basically, he didn't lose that fight. I mean, he did by disqualification. Basically, what I'm trying to say is nobody's ever beaten this motherfucker. Like, straight up. That's a beast. And then he has one no contest. I don't know exactly what happened now. But I think he's going to be considered like the greatest UFC champion perhaps of all time. He's just been on top for a long time. When is the first time he won? Here's the other thing. He was light heavyweight champion for like 4 years, and then again for 2 years. So he's number 2 of this year's number 2 in the UFC pound for pound. But he's like an older fighter. Okay, so who did you say, James? Yeah, that dude was really big. I remember. But I mean, big too. Yeah, he was big and big. He was a big man. If I remember, if it's the same guy. Oh no, that guy's different. Yeah. I know who you're talking about. That guy. No, I mean, he's. I know exactly what you're talking about. He is a champion, but he's not the heavyweight champion. He's something other kind of champion. Just a moment, we're gonna find that one out. Yeah, he was really big though. Like he had a big fight a few months ago. That was really big. But I think he lost because he's not like ranked on the ESPN website as a champion right now. So we're gonna find out all about. He is Khabib. I was looking at his Wikipedia. Here we go. Khabib. All right, he is UFC Hall of Famer. 29 wins and no losses. Oh, maybe he is the best. Hold on. He's widely considered to be among the greatest martial arts of all time. Oh yeah, he's a big deal. Damn. So he's undefeated. So you know more than I do when it comes to this. What division was he in? So he's like a lightweight or welterweight. That's the other thing. There are so many different divisions to follow that I get confused. So I guess he was a fighter before I started following UFC more. Like, I don't know. The first real fight I watched was like maybe a year ago. Aside from that, I only knew of fighters if they had made some kind of like pop culture kind of crossover. So I knew Kimbo Slice. I knew there's a guy Uriah Faber, McGregor. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, Ken Shamrock. From like what you remember Ken Shamrock from like a long time ago? He was a WWE fighter as well, a wrestler. He was like big in the 90s. And then I'm trying to think who else. Oh yeah, there's one other guy, Brock Lesnar. Let's look it up. Because actually, I heard that there was something like really special about him as a specimen. Like when he came in, they had never seen anybody so big or something like that. Let's worry about it. Okay. Yeah. How big is he? So he's not that tall. He's 6'3", which is actually pretty small for a
this isn't something where someone down the street where I live is doing these.
Like, you know, some of those guys are 7'2". Alright, so we want mixed martial arts here. Okay, he was in Heroes, no one gives a shit about that. Ultimate Fighting Championship debut, he was in UFC 77. He had a one-fight contract. Oh, this is what it was. He had really big hands. And he was making him the second man in the Better Combat Sports Initiative to wear 4 XL gloves. So basically, I knew there was something weird about him, where he was like, they were like, there's something weird about him. There's something weird about this other guy. Joe Rogan was talking about on his podcast the other day. So like he had been like some kind of ocular injury, some kind of eye injury, and that like the guy's tendons in his eye were actually like growing or like regrowing, just healing very quickly. Like these guys are, you know, like really unique specimens of the human species, I guess, for lack of a better set of terms. They're unique organisms, and they are able to, you know, marvel people perhaps when it comes to some of the things they're able to do. When it comes to Brock Lesnar, he
have strong passwords. Don't click on anything in your emails or your text messages that will lead you to another website. Be very diligent in what you're doing online because these actors, these cyber hackers, have become very good in manipulating things.
So he became a title holder.
It's a big problem right now, and it's a big.
He tied a UFC record for most consecutive successful UFC heavyweight defenses. I mean, that's pretty good. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have been better, but then he had a title loss in the first retirement. Okay, what's his overall record? His overall record in UFC. And this is the other thing that gets fucking confusing, and I can't stand it. Is like then you get the like wrestling in there, like WWE in there, which is like it's not. It's orchestrated. Choreography. Okay, so his mixed martial arts record was 5 and 3. So you're right, James. Even though he was champion. What up, Indian police, you little slut? Indian police, you in here? Hey, you little slut, we've been waiting for you, fuck. Dog, we're watching UFC 299, you little bitch. Yo, dog. Of anybody will be you. Oh. So, James, in answer to the close that point, yeah, I think you're right. He wasn't very good in comparison to like how he was built. What happened to my fort? Don't worry, we're getting it back. I talked to Yo-Yo. We're getting a new set of merchandise. We had to abandon ship on that place and move to an undisclosed location in a bunker somewhere safe and sound.
The LAPD has received more than 1,200 new job applications so far this year. Chief Joyce says that's way up from last year.
Next question is, what's causing this? We're looking into it.
That's absolutely true. They knew where the epicenter was, but that's true. Ever since I moved from there, the coin has gone up like 18 times. Not too bad. I know, I'm thinking that's a good idea.
Scientists have linked California's recent snowfall to climate change. Dr. Andrew Jones of Florida's Berkeley National Laboratory says a cold mass of air that blew down from the Bering Strait.
Absolutely. Boise, Idaho, I'm coming for you.
He says higher temps in the
I'm coming
ocean
to Boise, Idaho. We're going to buy a really big property with lots of land. Hell yeah, man. We're going to go to Montgomery, Alabama. And we're going to have a really big piece of property. And we will enjoy life on the Sproto Ranch. Hell yeah, man. I want to. I want to be on an indigenous people's property. We're going to start a casino. If they already have a casino, we're going to make their current casino even better. No matter what it is, we're going to renovate. It's going to be amazing. And we're going to help with the alcoholism issues that are there because those are prevalent and we want to help the people who are there. Wherever I am, I would want to help the place in a positive way.
Texas A&M Forest Services released a report saying an old
Indian police, how are things in your neck of the woods, baby?
fell into the ground which ignited the Smokehouse Creek fire. It is going to be the largest fire in the state's history, burning over 1 million acres. Several lawsuits have been filed against utility companies claiming they failed to properly inspect, maintain, and replace them.
Absolutely.
U.S. health regulators say
Are you licking all of the equipment when you're done with it?
ABC's Morgan Goldman says U.S. health regulators are ready to add cardiovascular outcomes to its
That's a good one. That's definitely a good one. I like to volunteer to smell people's breath, and also I like to volunteer to catch people's sneezes, just in case, you know. I like to, like, basically like a bodyguard for everyone else. So I take in, I appreciate it. I'm not a Christian boy, but I do my best to bridge gaps within culture and society. So I would say it's quite moral of me to try to bridge the gap between people, particularly those who are sick. I mean, with your COVID that you underwent recently, where do you think you got it? Was it one of your numerous orgies? Dog, what glacier? That's interesting. So at what point does it change from being a glacier to being an iceberg? You said it broke off. Oh, sure. I understand. Absolutely. And plus, ice is just got to be formed. Well, can I tell you something that I find very interesting about icebergs? That when an iceberg has a little piece of it that breaks off, that piece that breaks off is known as a calf, like a baby cow. I think that's cool. Word mockingbird, it's scary.
However, you can do this. If you want to motivate the guys, ridiculous penalties, their
I think so.
programs and pricing are totally transparent. Call today and review your current statement for free, show you exactly how much money you can save, and if they can't, they'll tell you.
Did you ever hear about the cows on Antarctica?
Hardware and software for retail, service, business to business, and e-commerce companies. Now, pound 250 on sale,
Oh, did you go down there on a cruise? Oh, that's very bullish. That's really cool, India Police. I've been wanting to do that. Dog, if I had your money, I'd burn my own. Of course not. You wouldn't waste your money on such bullshit. If you wanted to see ice, you'd open up your freezer. Absolutely. If you want to see penguin, you'll watch that at gas pump. You got it. Ice Age, whatever it is, baby. You got it. You got it on your TV. Anything you need is on the screen. Absolutely. Well, in 1933, 4 cows went to Antarctica. The cows took a 3-month journey alongside their human companions, and essentially they, without reading all of this, just for a moment, it was on one of the travels down there. But basically, they didn't do very well. And we learned that Antarctica can't really support any kind of cattle. Who knew? Not even in the summer. I find Antarctica to be absolutely super interesting. Right. Well, there's a little bit that does in the lichen. Do you know who Ernest Shackleton is? Dude, super hardcore. India Police, if your role within Web3 could be described as anything, you'd be the Ernest Shackleton of crypto. It is. Ernest Shackleton was a hardcore motherfucker. Kids, if you don't know who Ernest Shackleton was, basically he's a guy who traveled to Antarctica multiple times. One time under Admiral Byrd, but then under Captain Scott. Then he ends up wanting to make it to the South Pole. He doesn't end up doing it. Roald Amundsen of Norway is the first man to actually make it there. But really, it has one of the even more, I would say, beautiful stories that everyone on his expedition survived, and survived one of the most treacherous journeys, I would say, of any of the explorers. Basically, they made it to Antarctica. They had to spend several years there, and their ship got like completely squished, and then they had to take like a small little boat to a small island. They had to like travel a little boat for 400 miles on the open waves in the South Ocean, which is one of the most dangerous areas that you could be. They eventually make it to this small little island, but they make it on the wrong side of the island, and you can't just like walk around it. They have to climb over a mountain. They eventually make it to this little fishing village and then go and save their friends. All of this is really an amazing story. While they didn't make it to the South Pole, all of the people in the expedition survived, and I think that's fascinating. And the thing is, within the story, a lot of the, at many points, they could have just abandoned their comrades, and many people would have, but they went back. It's something like what I would do for India Police, and I'm sure he would do for me, and we would do for any of our Sproto brothers and sisters.
But as the era of the American section began to sunset,
all right, I'm going to... Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. Did you know, India Police, that we have a friend in here named the next one? The next one, how are you? Come on up and speak if you'd like to. The next one, we've been waiting for you. I was talking about you all evening. If you didn't know, I was like, man, when's the next one going to be here? And everyone was like, Rabbi, don't worry. The next one will be here soon enough. And I was like, nah, dog, I got to see the next one ASAP. And everyone was like, don't worry, they'll be here. And all of my fears were relieved and alleviated because you are now here. So thank you, the next one, for being here on our bootleg stream of UFC 299. If you aren't a fan of bootlegging, go fuck yourself, because bootlegging is sweet. It was tight during Prohibition, and it's cool as fuck in the digital age. Where else are you going to watch UFC 299 and talk about Antarctic cows? India Police, are you a fan of the designation that the South Ocean is itself its own ocean, thus making 5 oceans on Earth? It is very different. It is. It's like, absolutely. It's like a toilet around that whole fucking Antarctica all the time. It's totally different than the Indian, than the Arctic, than the Atlantic and the Pacific. It's a totally different ocean down there. And it just basically spins around Antarctica. And it goes very quickly, particularly between like Cape of Good Hope and Cape Horn. It's incredibly fast down there. But particularly when you get close to Antarctica and then it freezes up, it's crazy. So I'm glad that you're a fan of designating it its own ocean, because I am as well. It's much more different than the Pacific and the Atlantic, the Indian and the. If anything, it's more similar to the Arctic Ocean. But. It was officially designated its own ocean at the beginning of the 21st century. I think it was like 2001 or 2003. We're going to look it up right now. But no one refers to it. Or the Southern Ocean, I should say. It's not the South Ocean, the Southern Ocean. When was it defined?
It was just getting harder and harder to make a living in the sideshow. By the end of that year, the issue was put to a close. Well,
2002.
On a November day and under a blue sky, a single vault was open. People stood somberly in black. In the thick of that quiet, tiny foam caskets were lowered into the ground. A funeral were these so-called carnival babies.
James Kaminsky, do you think that Sugar Sean O'Malley is going to win tonight?
We also bury the idea that human life should be a grotesque spectacle.
Some other guy. He's fighting someone else. Just for what I'll find out. Look, I'm basically asking you, do you think the guy with the pink and blue hair is going to beat the guy? He's fighting Marion Vera. Here's the actual interesting thing that I know about this fight. Sean O'Malley is 17-1. His one loss is to a man named Marlon Vera. And guess who Sean O'Malley's fighting tonight? Marlon Vera. So basically, Sean O'Malley's only lost to one guy ever, and it's the guy he's fighting tonight. So that's a very interesting fight. Here's what he looks like. Can you see him? Can you? He looks like a clown. Sean O'Malley, Sugar Sean O'Malley. He's also known as Superstar O'Malley. And then the other guy, well, his hair always looks different. He's like Dennis Rodman. Yes, that's true. Sometimes he has his hair like really tight braids, which I think is probably advantageous to him because it's like a little bit more padding. Perhaps, I'm not sure. I've always felt a beard was a good idea for these fighters, though, because it just helps to take the initial brunt of the punch. Okay, so no. That's all the same guy. No, you're good. I'm going to show you the other guy now. So the other guy's name is Marlon Vera, and he just looks like a regular fighter. Just for a moment. But I think it's really interesting that he is the one guy to beat the other guy. So, like, this guy's literally only lost once. It's like, of any fight that he wants to avenge, it would be this one. It has a lot going on. That's tight. Dude, we got Sir Linkius in this bitch. And we got Red Circle Zero. Oh, Red Circle Zero, I knew there's no way we're going to hold on to them. What up, Sir Linkius? How you living, pimp? This is UFC 299. We got MASH in here. Mashlands. Mashlands is from England, I think. Mashlands, how you living, baby? Excellent, dude. We got UFC 299. Get in here, biatch. Get in here. You're like, dog, I already am. Tell everybody about it. I'm going to tell everybody. Get in the chat, yo. Get in the BC, slut.
So when his eldest daughter, Donna, announced at 15 that she was pregnant and marrying her beau, Grady had some opinions and an idea. The day before their wedding, and 12 whiskey couples later, Grady invited his future son-in-law, Jack, into the house for a chat. Jack obliged. The last decision he would ever make. Donna was the first to hear the shots were fired. In a moment, Jack was stumbling out of the house, blood pouring from his chest, and fell down right in the doorway. Grady had shot him. Donna ran to him and looked up to find Grady gloating. I told you it would, he said, and then Donna screamed. To his credit, Grady waited patiently for the police to arrive. Take me, I'm ready, he told them, surrendering his wrists and his gun to them. He went to trial, and there he readily admitted to his deed. He carried no remorse. For him, this was only an act of practicality. He simply didn't want his daughter marrying that guy. The jury deliberated for 3 hours, and after that, Grady was sentenced to only 15 years probation. You see, the authorities believed that because of Grady's compounding set of physical conditions, cirrhosis from drinking, emphysema from smoking, and his ectrodactyly, he wouldn't be able to receive the adequate care behind bars. They thought keeping him locked up would be cruel. He quickly escaped town and took the money that he owed to his lawyer and used it to assemble his own 10-in-1 sideshow. But he wouldn't be gone for long. All sideshow roads lead back to Gidtown. Well, Nancy's happy to find himself at his familiar bar stool on that humid midnight. With his tab running up and the night winding down, Grady closed out and took his leave. He headed home to his brown trailer on Inglewood Drive, his family's least favorite time of the day. They would never truly grow accustomed to his inevitable drunk arrival. He and Mary Teresa had been divorced at one time. The abuse had become too much. But at this point, they were ready into their second marriage to each other. Grady had promised to change, you see. He had managed to charm her again. He had been on his best behavior, and she hoped that these changes were real. But old habits die hard, as they say. And within 2 weeks of their new union, Grady had turned back. It's almost.
You're listening to Aaron Mackey's Grim and Mild Presents. On Before the Coast, strange stories from the IR. We'll have more from Grim and Mild Presents coming up next on KFI. Time now for a news update.
I'm Heather Brooker, live in KFI 24-hour newsroom. LAPD has responded to a phoned-in report of a woman with a gun in a van near an anti-Scientology demonstration on Sunset Boulevard. Police officers checked the area and found no one with a gun, but the LAPD says the call was generated by Google Voice. Detectives are investigating. 5 middle schoolers have been kicked out of school in Beverly Hills for sharing fake nude photos of their classmates. Criminal defense attorney David Rosari says the California Education Code considers their behavior unlawful. And the Muslim holy month of Ramadan begins tomorrow at sunset. Ramadan marks the 9th month of the Islamic calendar and is the month that is thought that Prophet Muhammad was given the Quran, Islam's holy book. We are going to check on the 101.
You'll never know until you experience it yourself. It's that feeling when you're in Disneyland Resort, and there's no better time than now. KLA Dodger fans, step up to the plate for the Spectrum season ticket sweepstakes. Visit a participating Spectrum store and enter for a chance to win our grand prize, a pair of Los Angeles Dodgers season tickets. Plus, hundreds of bonus winners can win a 50-inch smart TV. Also, sweepstakes ends March 19th. For more information and official rules, go to spectrum.com/2024-SWEEPS-LA. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 18 plus in California. Odds of winning vary by location. Void where prohibited. With all eyes on the NBA, the time is now to get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers who deposit $5 or more can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 back in a bonus bet. What's a no-sweat bet? It's just like getting an offensive board. Miss your first shot, and you get another chance to score. That's right. Get a bonus bet back in the amount of your original bet if your first bet doesn't hit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code IHEART. New customers can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 if your first bet loses. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code IHEART. The crown is yours. Must be 21 or older, Indiana only. One no-sweat bet per new customer. Issued as one bonus bet based on amount of initial losing bet. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit wagering and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Tanya here, and there are many ways that we can all help raise awareness around HIV, but maybe the most important is just talking about it openly and honestly. There's no cure for HIV, but there are effective treatments that, taken as prescribed, can help you live healthy with HIV and get to and stay undetectable, which means the amount of the virus is so low it can't be measured by lab tests. If you're living with HIV and not on treatment, talk to your doctor about treatment options. Learn more at treathivtoday.com. This message was sponsored by Gilead Sciences.
No matter what the day brings, count on Juicy Juice for the good stuff. Get tasty nutrients in your 100% fruit juice to help them conquer the day. Juicy Juice is only sweetened by the fruit, with no sugar added, no high fructose corn syrup, and no artificial sweeteners. Available in family-sized bottles and juice boxes. Find Juicy Juice at your favorite local grocery retailer. Info at juicyjuice.com.
This sun season, involve your sun care with new Banana Boat 360 coverage. With advanced control mist, it's a new way to spray. An all-new bottle means an all-new mist experience that smells great and is incredibly light on your skin. Better control with coverage you can count on. Tap the trigger lightly to cover targeted areas or hold for long, continuous spray, ensuring long-lasting Banana Boat protection. Plus, it's refillable from sweat-resistant sport formula to kids SPF 50+. Shop Banana Boat 360 Mist at Walmart, Target, or Amazon.
This is a radio ad for Dupixent, Dupilumab, a prescription medicine for people 6 months and up with moderate to severe eczema that is not well controlled with topical prescription therapies. But since this is radio, you can't see the effects of Dupixent. You can't see how it helps you stay ahead of your eczema, or how it helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that could be causing eczema. You can't see how it helps heal your skin from within, but you can see how Dupixent can help you have clearer skin and less itch. Individual results may vary. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Get help right away if you have wheezing, trouble breathing, or swelling of your face, lips, mouth, tongue, and throat. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain, vision changes, or blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. See for yourself. Ask your eczema specialist about Dupixent. Visit Dupixent.com or call 1-844-DUPIXENT. The children of our nation know little to nothing about 9/11, but the Tunnel to Towers 9/11 Institute is righting this wrong by helping teachers educate kids in kindergarten through 12th grade. Their non-fiction first-person accounts are told through videos of the Discovering Heroes book series. The Institute offers full curriculum Guinness, a speaker's board, a local exhibit that's an interactive museum with 9/11 artifacts, and Russell F. Siller Memorial Scholarships for kids of program recipients. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at TTT.org. Nobody wants to compete with you, but it happens, especially for women. That's why Gainbridge offers the period flexibility. Designed for women to meet retirement needs. Flexible withdrawals plus a guaranteed lifetime income benefit that keeps being even when finances are. Gainbridge is helping build a better financial future for women. Retirement income you can't outlive is the ultimate flex. Start saving now at Gainbridge.io. Visit Gainbridge.io/ParentingFlex for current rates, profile disclosures and disclaimers, and other important information.
We all need help understanding God's Word sometimes. The In Touch Radio Network on iHeartRadio provides biblical teaching you can trust, featuring daily devotions, the sermons of Dr. Charles Stanley, and our Spanish station, Encontacto. The In Touch Radio Network will lift you up throughout your day and help you gain a deeper understanding of God's Word. Listen anytime and anywhere. Just search In Touch on your iHeartRadio app.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Sky Rizzi, Rizinumab Rizza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Sky Rizzi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Sky Rizzi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Don't use if allergic to Sky Rizzi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them ahead. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine. Thanks to Sky Rizzi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Sky Rizzi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit SkyRizzi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
I know the weight of the world seems to rest on your shoulders, and sometimes life seems like it's filled with confusion and chaos. I assure you, I have a plan for you. The Jesus Christ Show, tomorrow morning at 6 on KFI AM 640.
More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. I'm Clay Rowe, and you're listening to Before the Coast, Strange Stories from the iHeart Vault. Let's return now to hear more from Aaron Mankey's Grim and Mild Presents.
It's not every day that someone gets cut up and reassembled, but Mary Teresa Herzog lived for it. She got her sideshow start as a ticket seller, but soon graduated to the Zigzag Girl act, where she wowed audiences by getting sliced up into thirds. But this was harmless fun, after all, an illusion. There was not a drop of blood shed, nor any bandmates needed. It was offstage, though, away from the bright lights and hardened markers, that she took on her most fearsome role. She was a wife. You see, to be a woman is a very dangerous thing. The statistics tell us as much. Current studies say that 1 in 4 women will be the victims of severe physical violence at the hands of their intimate partner. 1 in 5 will experience sexual violence. 1 in 7 will be stalked. And studies tell us that the presence of a gun in a domestic violence situation increases the risk of homicide by 500%. That isn't to say that people who aren't women don't experience abuse. They do. But the majority of the world's social and economic systems have long favored cis men with female partners, putting women who pair with men into vulnerable situations. But we can trace the precedent for men's physical domination over women back to Hammurabi, back to the Quran, back to the Roman Empire, back to Old English common law that suggested a laying of hands as a corrective measure. Historically, there have been a lot of rules that have spelled out what was allowed to go on in the home. And what was going on in Mary Teresa's home had been for years. It was something people knew, but only whispered about. She had been wooed by the Lobster Boy one spring day in Trenton, New Jersey back in 1959. Sparks flew, and their lives were set on a course from which they would never turn back. If their trailer was Brady's castle, it was Mary Teresa's prison. It was here she both labored to raise a family and to protect them from their father. She loved him fiercely at times, and we can wonder if he loved her too. What we do know is that he wanted to control her, a desire exercised through his use of fists and threats to kill again. But this time, he threatened that it would be her. So when Grady ambled home from the bar that night, sufficiently inebriated and agitated, Mary Teresa and their daughter Kathy found themselves directly in his line of fire. Kathy, also born with ectrodactyly and 7 months pregnant, had long positioned herself as the protector of her mother. She wouldn't have continued to stay with the sideshow if not for the need to keep her mother safe. Unprovoked, Grady flew into a whiskey-soaked rage. He started beating Mary Teresa. Kathy tried to intervene from her wheelchair, yelling that her father preferred the bottle to his family. And then he turned his anger on her. Grady started in on her hard, pummeling her in the arms, the jaw, and eventually knocking her around so much that she fell from her chair. The fleshy thuds knocked the wind from Kathy's lungs. It felt like hammers coming down on her bones. The pain was wet and blinding, the shocks reverberating through her entire skeleton. She fought back, of course, but nothing could be done until Grady decided that he was finished. Kathy barely slept after the attack that night. She didn't say anything about the pain until she started hemorrhaging the next morning. She rushed to the hospital. Kathy told the doctor who performed her emergency C-section that she had simply fallen out of her wheelchair. Did he believe her? Probably not. The baby's placenta had separated from the umbilical cord, and Kathy's water had broken as a result of the violence. Baby Misty came into the world on May 6th of 1990, and she was healthy. And she, too, was born with lobster claws. It's hard to know exactly when Mary Teresa decided that enough was enough. What we do know, though, is that there was an immense amount of courage and strength that it took on the part of both of these women to stand up for each other in the face of such terror. After decades of torment, of living in a vortex of violence, and bloodshed just as likely as tears, Mary Teresa knew at some point that this had to end. And she didn't want to be the one who went first.
What'd you say, you little slut?
You're listening to Aaron Makepeace Grim and Mild Presents.
How you living, baby?
Stories from the iHeart.
What's new?
We'll have more from Grim and Mild Presents coming up next on KFI.
Kicking ass, taking names. I hope you're doing well. Excellent. So you said they had Mr. Beast there?
The second case of measles has been reported within 24 hours in Chicago. Former Chicago
Very
Assistant
cool,
Health
very
Commissioner
cool.
Dr. Down Howard Herman says people should be concerned.
There's your boy. Damn good daughter.
City health officials say a young child was living at a migrant shelter.
Me encanta el diseño de interiores. Busco combinar el estilo moderno y mitad de siglo, una galería terracota y una alfombra abstracta.
Look at that hair.
Oh, se ve lindo. Entregas gratis en un día para la decoración.
I'll tell you what, I'm a sucker for Flash, pomp, and shit. I would not know who he is, but he's the guy with the pink and purple hair. Now I know exactly who he is. Right, I love that shit.
It's just like getting an offensive board. Miss your first shot and you get another chance to score. That's right. Get a bonus bet back in the amount of your original bet if your first bet doesn't hit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code iHeart. New customers can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 if your first bet
Sir Linkius, how did you find us?
DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code iHeart. The crown is yours. Must be 21 or older. Indiana only. One no-sweat bet per new customer. Issued as one bonus bet based on amount of initial
Twitter.
bet. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit wagering and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, it's Junior. Today, black folks in our community are still disproportionately.
Oh, okay, so like 2 weeks ago.
But there is something we can do about it. There's no cure for HIV, but there are effective treatments that, taken as prescribed, can help you live healthy with HIV and get to and stay undetectable, which means the amount of virus is so low it can't be
Right.
measured by lab tests. If you're living with HIV and not on treatment, talk to your doctor about treatment options. Learn more at treathivtoday.com. This message was sponsored by Gilead Sciences.
No matter what the day brings, count on juicy
That's right.
Get this
That's right.
100% fruit juice to help you conquer the day. Juicy Juice is only sweetened by fruit, no sugar added, no high fructose corn syrup, and no artificial sweeteners.
Good for you.
Family-sized bottles and juice boxes.
Did it come finally?
Find Juicy Juice at your favorite local grocery retailer. Info at juicyjuice.com.
Oh, okay. So it's
This sun season,
well,
give
when
all your sun care with new Banana Boat 360 coverage. With advanced control mist, it's a new way to spray. An all-new
when it
bottle
comes,
and all
you're
new
gonna have to
mist
do a
experience.
fashion
It
show.
smells great and is incredibly light on your skin. Better control with coverage you can count on. Tap the trigger lightly to cover targeted areas, or pull for a long, continuous spray. Ensure long-lasting UV protection. It's available in sweaters
James
and
Kaminsky, do you have one?
to kids SPF 50 plus. Shop Banana Boat 360 mist at Walmart, Target,
Oh,
or
tight.
Amazon.
Who had it?
This is a radio ad for the good.
Oh, yeah. The world famous one. Had you met More Light before? Is he as cool in real life as he is on the BC? Who else did you meet? Who I would know? Oh, cool. Yo-yo. Yep. Oh, yeah. Guinness. Oh, yeah. From Australia. Why is she known as Possum Face? You think you've seen her? So we can confirm this. All right, good. But do possums have big tits? Dog, haven't you ever seen a possum? When I see a possum, oh, he knows it all.
Access to all. Live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company. I was in Texas. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Southside weather for campfire clear skies tonight with lows reaching 50 in Metro LA and OC, and highs will be upper 60s tomorrow. Right now it's 56 in Cypress, 57 in Marina Del Rey. Weekly local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Heather Brooker.
What are we doing for it?
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else. And we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. From your cell, dial pound 250 and say keyword great results. That's pound 250 and say great results.
In a disaster
Totally.
there's no time to panic. You and your family should be ready to
We'll make it an international.
Sign up for alerts.
Let's see, what's bigger than international? Intergalactic holiday. People from, or beings from different galaxies will celebrate this. We got Whiskers in the house. I just want to take a second. Let's all appreciate that Whiskers is here. Whiskers, I've been talking about you all day long. I was just telling everybody, I'm telling you Whiskers is going to be here. Everyone was like, Rabbi, you're such a liar. Whiskers won't show. I was like, guys, Whiskers told me they would be here for UFC 299. Let's take them on their word. Whiskers, how are you? So there's this thing. It's called talking. I do it, and then sometimes you do it. And I see that this is not one of those times. Well, that's okay, Whiskers. Welcome. We're glad that you're here. And we're watching 299 of the UFC on Row. And you could be watching behind me, but I'm watching on Row because he's got the clearest stream of anyone. And he has Spanish subtitles. I mean, come on, man. Does anyone know what those symbols are next to Row's name? Is that Chinese?
Just let us show you how KFI AM 640 can work for you and your business. Just dial pound 250 on your cell phone.
I think Row is a Chinese whale who just decided to come here and be like a guardian angel of our telegram. for UFC 299. Or I should have to watch it on the wall. Oh man, we got this thing clear. Oh. So we've got this Vega guy. There's that guy. What flag is that? Colombia? No, it's not Taiwanese. Oh, Rose Thing is Taiwanese. Oh, dude, Taiwan is tight as fuck. Shout out to Taipei and Taipei 101. Dog. Taiwan has this thing. These like super, or what? These like really special labs. For like silicon chips, and it's like they got China by the balls. What is this thing called? They're like biosafety labs. No. Let's see here. Basically, like all the chips that China uses don't necessarily come from China. A lot of them come from Taiwan, and Taiwan controls a lot of what goes on in China, particularly when it comes to their chips. We'll learn more about it in a second. They're pretty baller too.
For just a few moments, the crickets and bullfrogs were stunned into silence. Everyone looked at each other, their pulses quickening. There was a chill in the air where there hadn't been before. Some quick
I can
thinking
see that.
neighbors called the cops.
Has anyone seen? This guy has the most fascinating.
The trailer's sliding glass door was
Okay, what is this? It's called Misbroken. Okay, this documentarian, created like a bunch of YouTube shorts about like just interesting topics. So I'm trying to. Okay, the guy's name is Johnny Harris. That's his name. So there's a reason why the milkshake machine allegedly is always broken at McDonald's, and if anybody's seen this, it's a fascinating reason why. While I don't go to McDonald's, I have heard and seen that this is a meme that is like pretty common, that their milkshake machine is broken all the time. And the reason why is because the machines themselves have a really particular way that they have to clean, and only one company is allowed to be the contractor on the machine. And basically, if anything goes wrong with the machine, it needs like a 6-hour cleaning cycle. Anyway, instead of telling you all of that, they just say at the McDonald's apparently that it's broken. Anyway, Johnny Harris did this amazing documentary on Taiwan, like chips, like the silicon chips, and the microchip war, basically. And they have these facilities in Taiwan that are like these super clean facilities where like robots do all of this, like create these silicon chips. Anyway, if you have a chance, check out independent journalist Johnny Harris. He's a Canadian guy. He makes really amazing content on YouTube. Definitely. And his stuff is really interesting. Like, here, I'm just going to read you what his, like, the topics that he covers are, like, not normally covered in society. Johnny Harris, YouTube. So, I've watched all his stuff a few times, like at least twice, I want to say, or his more Harris, Johnny Harris. Yes, absolutely. So, his stuff is like I don't know how to describe it. It's just like really interesting topics. All right, so here they are. Why the U.S. sells weapons to 103 countries, how capitalism changed the face of war, how viruses become weapons, how U.S. companies get away with fueling Russia, how Benjamin Netanyahu relies on Hamas, the new global economy, your supplements are a lie, why the Swiss love their guns more than Americans, was Henry Kissinger a war criminal, do-it-yourself drones, war will never be the same, why people think the government killed JFK, the war is spreading, why everyone's mad about China's new map. That's a really interesting one. What up, Kookie? How you doing, baby? Hell yeah, what up, Playboy? How you doing? I'm kicking ass, taking names. Playboy, you know about our Telegram, don't you? It's okay if you... Here, I'm gonna send it to you. You're good, baby. Okay. Do you see what I have right here? It says t.me/HPOS10I. If you type this into Twitter, if you type this into a browser, it'll open up Telegram. You download Telegram, and we've got like 10 people in a room right now, and you can come and talk to me, just like you're talking to me now, but you can show your camera too. Do you see this? So if you have the chance, go t.me/HPOS10I. That's right, Cookie. How are you?
The story goes that he was so liked and disliked that they had a hard time finding anyone who was willing to be a lawyer. That and the fact that a large part of his family was being tried for murder. And when Paul Bearers were finally located, the story tells us that the concession was that they would only do the job if they could handle it with a little bit of flair, with lobster claw bones and gills to be precise. A bouquet of
flowers
was coffee, a pretty sight amidst this final inflection point of a decades-long tragedy. And anyone present, whether they be Morgan or Margaret, would have been able to see the words printed across the banner. From your loving wife. This was a heavy story. I think I can speak for all of us here at Green Mile when I say that this episode has
Absolutely.
our families.
Hey, Possum Tits, I was asking, why are you known as Possum Tits?
We've included resource links in the episode description.
Perfect.
Now I have something new for you. Something different. A look at what's ahead. Coming from the contemporary world of sideshow.
Possum Tits puts him in his spot.
Stick around for this week's episode.
You need to go. Possum Tits, why did you choose the animal, the possum?
Before the coast, strange stories from the we'll have more from Grim and Mile.
It is. It's a marsupial.
Delegation of city officials to return to LA tomorrow after a 5-day trip to Paris. The group met with French officials to observe their work as the cities prepare to host the next 2 Summer Olympics. President Biden has signed.
So let's introduce you to our friend Cookie. Cookie just joined. We don't know from where Cookie was released, but it must have been recent.
Excuse me. Eli Lilly's new TV ad released before the Oscars is criticizing celebrities who use diabetes and weight loss drugs for cosmetic reasons.
Cookie, we're glad that you're here.
With all eyes on the NBA, the time is now to get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Absolutely. So, Cookie, who do you think's going to win? Sugar, Sean?
What's a no-sweat bet? It's just like getting an offensive board. Miss your first shot and you get another chance to score. That's right. Get a bonus bet back to the amount of your original bet if your first bet doesn't hit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use
That's right.
code IHEART. You New customers can get a no sweat bet up to $1,000.
Cookie knows what's up.
Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code IHEART. The crown is yours. Must be 21 or older, Indian only. One no sweat bet per new customer. Issued as one bonus bet based on amount of initial losing bet. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit wagering and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Word. Cookie, you know what's
There
up.
are many ways that we can all help raise awareness around HIV, but maybe the most important is just talking about it openly and honestly. There's no cure for HIV, but there are effective treatments that, taken as prescribed, can help you live healthy with HIV. And
Cookie, are you friends with Big Bird?
undetectable, which means the amount of the virus is so low it can't be measured by lab tests. If you're living with HIV and not on treatment, talk to your doctor about treatment options. Learn more at treathivtoday.com. This message was sponsored by Gilead Sciences. No matter what the day brings, count on Juicy
Okay,
Juice.
I'm down for that. All right, here they are. Here we go. Let's go, baby. They're fighting.
Juicy Juice is only sweetened by the sugar added. No high fructose corn syrup and no artificial sweeteners. Available in family-sized bottles and juice boxes. Find Juicy Juice at your favorite local grocery retailer. Info at juicyjuice.com. Some people think college sounds like this. But at Ball State, we like to think it sounds like this. Because becoming a Cardinal opens the door to the future you want to build. Our welcoming culture, passionate learning partners, and focus on innovation and collaboration allow you to chart a unique path to a bright future. Discover Ball State and see how as Cardinals we can.
This is a radio ad for Dupixent. Dupixent, prescription medicine for people 6 months and up with moderate to severe eczema that is not well controlled with topical prescription therapies. But since this is radio, you can't see the effects of Dupixent. You can't see how it helps you stay ahead of your eczema, or how it helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that could be causing eczema. You can't see how it helps heal your skin from here, but you can see how Dupixent can help you have clearer skin and less itch. Individual results may vary. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Get help right away if you have wheezing, trouble breathing, or swelling of your face, lips, mouth, tongue. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain, vision changes, or blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asking medicines without talking to your doctor. See for yourself. Ask your eczema specialist about Dupixent. Visit Dupixent.com or call 1-844-DUPIXENT.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives you access to all, every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. iHeartMedia is your access company. Go to iHeartResults.com for more. Yes, I know. I have a calming demeanor. You know, when it's your job, basically, to push people beyond their comfort zones, it's good to make them feel as safe as possible. Like an open heart surgeon or your own. You'll do fine. No worries. We got Home with Dean Sharp, the House Whisperer. Tomorrow at 9 on KFI AM 640.
We're stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640 heard everywhere.
Could have been a rowboat.
Before the coast, strange stories from the island front. Let's return now to hear more from Aaron Mankey's Grim and Wild Presents.
Wow, that was a doozy of an episode. I sort of didn't predict that we'd end up with this new and yet similar kind of darkness with Brady. And Brady and the Lions wasn't the end of the Sancho story. That's right. You know, that brings us right up to the present.
Yeah, dude, I like you too. It makes me really want to rethink the children's television workshop and their hiring decisions. But aside from that, I like you.
Still felt in Gibsonton, you know, people are not going to forget what happened that easily. However, today I've been feeling
That's right.
in a place that's
I'm very bullish on Sesame Street. Always have been.
There's this gal named Kim Kelly who remembers the infamous sideshow Lobster Boy in her own way.
When I was looking back through history, trying to find other people rather than Lobster Boys,
Absolutely. Still am. Still,
She had a personal reason to go looking. She's a
it's
writer,
quite a street.
she's an
They got a lot
organizer,
going on there.
and she just happens to be
They
someone
got
else who is
6-foot
born
pigeons.
with dactyly.
They got
So for
motherfucking
her,
junkies
that
living
means
in
some of her
trash
fingers
cans.
on one hand,
There's
her
always
piece of
something.
paper,
They got
but
like a
really,
gay
she
couple
knew
that
that
lives
her
upstairs and
handwriting
nobody
made a
talks
difference.
about it, which is cool.
It didn't make that much
But
difference
it
in her
was
life, and she'll tell you
very
this.
progressive when people weren't even progressive. So I think they've addressed this, that Bert and Ernie are not gay. Like if anybody who I would have thought was gay, it would have been Bert and Ernie, but no, they're just like male roommates, which I think is cool. Somebody needs to represent dudes who just want to live together and like take baths, but not be gay. They do. I've seen them like honestly 50% of the time that I ever saw them, they had on those like shower caps and like towels in a bathtub, and there was definitely a rubber ducky involved. What that rubber ducky is potentially seen.
Interesting. Okay, so a few years ago, she thought she was just headed out on another job, just another
All right, I'll have to take a look at
she's
that
wanted to
shit.
do.
Columbia, that one blew up, didn't it?
That being something.
Oh no shit. He would have been like fried chicken. Big Bird. Oh, okay. You will still, that one blew up too.
And so because of this, and for
Big
many
Bird
other
nearly
reasons,
rode
she's gonna be
the
a guest
disastrous
host
Challenger
in
mission.
last episode.
Wow. I'll have to
And
dig
we
into
actually
this.
have one more
NASA
guest
did
that
consider
we'd
sending
like to
Sesame
introduce
Street
to our
icon
cool
Bird,
listeners,
Big
right?
Bird,
He
as
is
well
now.
as
So
the one
we'll
who
get
played
to
the
meet
puppet
our new
Carol
friend,
spinning
Dr. Bob
into
Thompson.
space with
He's
the
a
Challenger's
media
puddle
scholar at Syracuse University.
spaceship. Have you ever seen how that costume works? It's like it's like a person's hand way up in the air. So they have to hold their hand up for like hours. Or like I'm sure they get to take a break. But to move the mouth, they have to stick their hand up there. Word.
But that said, jabs aside. So, Taylor, what does TV have to do with the sideshow anyway?
So I've got to be honest, we had one round with this. It was a very slow first round, in my opinion.
You are, and you're in luck.
What the hell happened
Because
to
we will soon find out about Thompson has all sorts of answers for us. Interesting. We got this really powerful twosome in store for the listeners, don't we? Do you think they're curious enough to stick around for one last episode?
Well, you could also say certain intellectual curiosity can kill a lot more than cats.
Stop it! We can't scare them away. I was just telling them how excited I was. Oh, nothing to fear here. Listen. We're
I'm
actually
surprised
doing
that this
exactly
fight
what all the sideshow goers used to do.
hasn't at all gone to the ground. Not that I know the fighters really well and like that's their strategy, but it seems like fights go to the ground. They've both been on their feet.
So let's go. Well,
Right.
see you back here for one last look at
It's like a
the
kickboxing fight. But
Sideshow was written by Robin Miniture, with narration by me, Aaron.
yeah, I'm sure they know what they're doing
Research
better
for
than
the
I do.
series was by Robin
But
Miniture.
if I were doing this, I would just jump at them with them and just tackle them.
Production
Get him on the
assistants were
ground.
Josh Thade, Jesse Funk,
Choke him out.
Alex
But I'm
Williams,
sure
and
he'd
Matt Frederick.
kill him.
Grim and
Never
Mel
like
Presents
that.
was
But I
created in
do.
partnership with iHeartRadio. You can learn more about this show and everything else from Grim and Mile over at grimandmild.com.
I wonder what Sugar,
As always, thanks for listening.
Sugar Sean Brown is thinking. This is the only motherfucker who gives me a blemish on my record. Like, he's got to want to beat him so badly. And anyone on earth who wants to beat this guy.
If you'd like to hear more of the podcast Grim and Mild,
Oh, he cut his leg.
just open up the free iHeartRadio app and search Grim and Mild in the podcast category. Stay tuned for Coast to Coast. Coming up next, right after a news update you've been listening to Before the Coast. I'm Clay, and I'll be back every weekend evening at 9 with more strange stories from the iHeart Vault on KFI AM 640, heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. What you need to know and when you need to know it.
KFI.
KOST
HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Murder scheme. I'm Heather Brooker. Live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. 4 people have been arrested for allegedly killing an elderly woman in a murder-for-hire scheme in Montecito.
Investigators say Pilot Williams was killed so that a woman named Colleen Macareno could get control of Albert's home in Santa Barbara.
All eyes on the NBA. The time is now to get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers who deposit $5 or more can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 back in a bonus bet. What's a no-sweat bet? It's just like getting an offensive board. Miss your first shot and you get another chance to score. That's right. Get a bonus bet back in the amount of your original bet if your first bet doesn't hit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code IHEART. New customers can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 if your first bet loses. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code IHEART. The crown is yours. Must be 21 or older. One no-sweat bet per new customer. Issued as one bonus bet based on amount of initial losing bet. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit, wagering, and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Gambling problem? 9 with it.
Hey, it's Junior. Today, black folks in our community are still disproportionately affected by HIV. But there is something we can do about it. There's no cure for HIV, but there are effective treatments that, taken as prescribed, can help you live healthy with HIV and get to and stay undetectable, which means the amount of virus is so low it can't be measured by the test. If you're living with HIV and not on treatment, talk to your doctor about treatment options. Learn more at treathivtoday.com. This message is sponsored by Gilead Sciences.
No matter what the day brings, count on Juicy Juice for your good stuff. Get these nutrients of real 100% fruit juice to help them conquer the day. Juicy Juice is only sweetened by the fruit, with no sugar added, no high fructose corn syrup, and no artificial sweeteners. Available in every-size bottles and juice boxes. Find Juicy Juice at your favorite local grocery retailer. Info at juicyjuice.com.
California would declare non-disclosure agreements in legislative negotiations to be unenforceable. Republican Assemblyman Vince Bong's bill is partly in response to the state's new fast food minimum wage law, reportedly being negotiated in secrecy.
You know Pepe's on the 7 Poverty Law Center's list of 8 logos. So I didn't think that ever helped her coins. Like following, but it did a lot better than I thought it would. But nobody hates Harry Potter or Obama or Sonic or Ken or Enu. Actually, a ton of people hate all that shit, but nevertheless, when you combine it all, it basically becomes unstoppable. Ooh, look at that kick to the face. Dog, PureLowTV.fr. Shout out to that website. Pure Low TV. You see that up in the corner? Dude, that's the greatest fucking stream of all time. Clean as hell. Dog. Alright, so I want to say that the first round, they basically tied. The second round, I think Sean O'Malley won. I don't know how we could kind of give it, like who landed a bunch of punches. But maybe, I don't know, get that knee. Ooh, here you go.
You're not supposed to look directly at the event. Can you explain why? There is a rare period of time you can look at it. That is, if you're in the path of totality, you can look at it then. And as a matter of fact, you want to look at it. Young says if you're in any other zone that you need eye protection, or safety tips and everything,
what's an agent change?
go to nest.gov. Stay correct. Take 5 hours.
Some people will be using this.
Eli Lilly's new TV ad released before the Oscars is criticizing celebrities who use diabetes and weight loss drugs for cosmetic reasons.
These are not medications that are out for normal use. These are really good for people that are dealing with this disease.
So is it like China's crypto?
Says it's time to get serious about what these medicines are for. The commercial shows people getting dressed up in sequins while crews roll out on carpet. Doctors say the misuse
Oh, you're talking for like container ship?
and spike in prices for people who need the drug most.
Oh, so it's not for like cryptocurrency. They need to open their shit up, make that thing available to everybody. Meaning, whatever's China's Coinbase is going to be a big deal. Perhaps. Did it come to fruition? Is that right? And remember when, what was it? Something was supposed to happen like last summer. Yeah, I remember this. Okay. Okay, this happened like in June, where Hong Kong was gonna start, like, China was gonna start allowing people who lived in Hong Kong to start buying crypto or something like that. And I remember I was in somebody's Telegram or somebody's space, and this space was so bullish on all these Chinese whales that were gonna come in from Hong Kong and buy their coin, and literally no one bought anything. Oh, here we go. Sean O'Malley getting that revenge. Kind of gotta fuck with your head too. That this is the only motherfucker to ever beat me, and now if I beat him back, it's like, damn, I'd have a flawless record if not, like, for one bad night in my life. I think it's just human discussion of perfection, that having that zero on the other side when you're fighting
the San Bernardino County Transportation Authority. Attention I-10 freeway drivers. Freeway and ramp closures are coming up for the I-10
As I
Express
have.
project.
I've
Don't
never
get
lost,
stuck.
so.
For dates and detours, visit
I do my best to do
gospcta.com. That's gospcta.com for more information on the I-10 Express Lanes project.
Podcast Paper Ghosts is back with a haunting mystery in the shadows of the Ozarks. Season 4 unravels a darkly intriguing cold case of 1989 as a community continues to search for answers about a missing girl, various suspects, and a potential connection to
They delivered it, so I bought it on Amazon. Yeah, I did not go outside today. I went yesterday. We went to Home Depot. And yeah, I want to walk the day before that. Absolutely. I burned a bra. I burned a bra every hour on the hour for 24 hours straight. That's how I celebrate International Women's Day. Absolutely. Oh, he's on the ground. Oh, and then they. Yes, he does. So is that the end of the round? Yeah. Dude, bro, why aren't you here all the time? You're amazing. I just want everybody to know that Ro kicks ass. Bro, we love you. Yeah, we're gonna stream it tomorrow. We're in a little bit. We're gonna have to or Supreme Court, I should say. Supreme Court falls. Yes, it does suck. Why is that? You work on Sunday? Hell yeah, just jump in whenever you can. We want to know your predictions. Who's going to win Best Picture? Nominated. I think Oppenheimer wins everything. It doesn't have much competition. Dude, I saw Barbie. I thought it was a very good movie. I really did. Kyle R., how are you? Excellent, Kyle R. We're taking a name. We're watching UFC 299.
For safe aerospace that seeks to coordinate and standardize UAP reporting procedures and
Yeah,
also
man, we got it set up just for you. It's like your own little surprise party.
Meanwhile, in the United Kingdom, no such mechanism exists for military, civilian, or commercial pilots to report sightings or encounters with UFOs to the government. Pilots who speak out about UFOs do so with great risk to their careers. And so, a former UK police officer has decided it was time to take matters into his own hands. Gary Heseltine is a former police detective in the UK and the current vice president of the International Coalition for Extraterrestrial Research, ICER. And he's just launched a new website, UK Pilots Reporting UAP. Gary has assembled a small specialist team of leading UFO researchers
Oh, here we go.
who will investigate British pilots' reports about aviation personnel
He's taking
and
some hits.
operators and air traffic controls. The team stresses that there are genuine air safety implications for pilots who, for decades, have been seeing strange objects in the sky that they cannot explain. Gary Heseltine joins me in hour 1.
There's still a lot of time left in this round.
I think by now we all understand that bees are a crucial part of sustaining life on Earth.
James Timothy, I love that about it. So
Bees provide food for 1 in 5 species on the planet. And
we're
bees
nothing right.
operate an
Do you have
estimated
any
150
old
billion
Bitcoin
dollars worth of crops every year.
BTC?
Bees are often called the canary
Wow,
of the
you're a
coal
millionaire.
because they're so sensitive to environmental changes. As bee populations decline, it's a sign that something is terribly wrong with our ecosystem.
To buy a really beautiful hooker.
Bee colonies across North America are collapsing. Bee colony collapsing.
There you go, buy more
And the
Bitcoin.
majority of worker bees in any bee colony disappear, leaving behind a clean,
Yeah, the return on investment is so entire high.
bees to care for the
Oh my
remaining
god, way higher.
While such
You're not gonna
disappearances
like
occur
2x on
throughout the history of
Bitcoin in the next 2 years maybe, but like you have 2x on ticker Bitcoin. You know?
The secret was renamed Colony Collapse Disorder in 2007, in conjunction with a drastic rise in
Yeah.
rates of disappearances of
That's
coastal
good.
honeybee colonies
Good.
in North America.
I mean, not to say crypto, I mean, there's a sound investment. It's all about ROI. ROI all day long.
Especially in southern and western
ROI,
Northern
AD
Ireland
all day long.
received reports of a decline greater than 50%. The phenomenon became more global and it affected some Asian and African countries as well. If bee colony collapse continues unabated, it could represent an existential threat to humanity. Now, 2 men, a former entrepreneur in the fintech space and a wellness warrior and tech trailblazer, believe they've created a new technology based on principles our ancient ancestors understood that will allow bees to not only survive but thrive. Brent and Jake Cunningham join me to explain how they intend on saving the bees and also how you can get involved in their mission as well. That's hours 2, 3, and 4. Gary Heseltine, the founder of UK Pilots Reporting UAPs, is next. Welcome to the audio imaginary. Come on in your traffic in your walking pad, grab a stool, and come gather around the fire.
It's the greatest community in the history of communities.
And you are among friends. I'm Richard Serrett, and this is Coast to Coast AM. Why don't you stay a while?
Your tax refund belongs to you, not an identity. You filed for $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. And if you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. LifeLock monitors and alerts you to identity threats. You may miss on your own.
Wow.
Be careful with your personal information. If you do become the victim of tax-related identity fraud, LifeLock has U.S.-based restoration specialists ready to help solve your identity theft issues.
Plus, all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 million protection package, meaning LifeLock will reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. Let LifeLock help protect your financial information, so all you have to do to worry about is what to do with your tax refund. Go to LifeLock.com, save up to 25% your first year with promo code George. That's promo code George for 25% off at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here. LifeLock.com.
And of crisis, your number one need is food. Because when things go sideways, it's always one of the first things to
Here we go. It's the last fight, last round. I would say that we're nothing good. All right. Absolutely. So this thing could arguably be 2 rounds each. I think no, we had to donate those to the depths of hell. But here's what I imagine: when this gets big, they will go to the dump and get them back for represervation. They're not going to go anywhere. Those things are glazed. Are you kidding me? They'll be like future anthropologists who are digging through a human junkyard, and they're going to see this glistening, glazed, glass-like shirt, and they're going to know exactly what it was. It's going to be like the Ark of the Covenant.
Unofficial national police database for British police officers to report.
All right. Oh, definitely.
In April 2013, following his retirement,
oh my God. Sugar Sean O'Malley is doing what he can to maintain his belt. This other guy, I gotta be honest, I'm very surprised. I don't think I've ever watched a fight. I don't watch that many fights, but I've never watched a fight that went the whole time and nobody went to the ground. Don't they always go to the ground? At some point, you get a guy to headlock.
42 years of denial. This following a 5-year re-investigation of Britain's most famous UFO case. Then, in December of 2023, he founded UK pilots.
Do you think on the ground is the most boring?
Which went live.
It can be, especially when they get right up against the fence. It sucks. Or right up against it. Right, light it up for him.
Let's say, prior to the launch of
DSP.
if a British Airways pilot is approaching Heathrow and sees a UFO, maybe has a near miss with a UFO. It's also been captured, let's say, on radar by air traffic control. What was that pilot supposed to do with that information?
Well, it's very impressive. One of the reasons why I run because there isn't a clear set of instructions. And when you look at the UK legislation around the UAP, obviously very well developed now in the United States, there is absolutely nothing in place that actually talks about UAP. UAP is not even mentioned in any of the
Zoo. Mars and trade.
What you do have is what's called the Airport Security Board, which I think was established in 1998, which looks into close proximity.
Exactly, it's bugs, like the whole thing is just traffic.
Some kind of now, when you look at
it's all dog shit.
things as balloons,
What up, Zoot?
mysteriously, and they made a determination. And I've been doing some research about the UK for this year. And I think we're sure that's going to be things like see what's happened this year.
Zoot, this is big. This is the heavyweight or I'm sorry, the feature fight. It's got less than a minute left, and it could go either way. We think Sean O'Malley's probably going to win. I don't know. I do. And you guys might not, but it seems like he's landed more punches. But I could be wrong. I definitely had him favored. We're going to passport Bitcoin in this bitch. Here we go. 10 seconds. Oh, yeah, he's going. That's it.
But I don't know what the status of this piece of this bill that was proposed in January is in the U.S. House of Representatives.
That's right.
Again, it was supposedly done in association with Americans for Safe.
I'm going to take all the credit for it. Once again, if you haven't heard me say this before, I'm going to say it. I take credit for all the good things and none of the bad things.
Not only a national security threat, but also an endangerment.
I think we'll be at $1 billion by next Wednesday.
Why is Great Britain, which, the UK had it in their desk, for God's sake, why are they not on board with this?
That's a good question. And since the law we've all been part of information requests to the Ministry of Defence, to the Civil Aviation Authority in the UK. Lots of questions, of course, that's going to take a while to generate responses. Hopefully, they'll have 20 years specified time. But you never know. But with it's going to take time for us to start getting information that we're on this summer. And of course, that point, that we can then start to drill down into questions of why you don't know. And it's hard to read shit, but like long-term growth, a billion August, yes, it's going to happen. Look online and fears again. The information it's not hard. Then that gives me a really good start point.
We have Zoot in here and Zeke. Holy shit.
Like, what's going to happen? I think it's like that's how the it's going to handle everything. It's going to be it doesn't appear you know, like stupid shit like that's gonna happen. We are not following American given our past, I mean, there's an example of big profits. When questions have been raised in the House of Lords.
Sean O'Malley had 186 strikes. The other guy had 90. Sean O'Malley, game over.
Because literally all the people were talking about it as if it was
unanimous decision.
You know, like we went to the combination, and it was a big deal because, you know, the whole thing is emerged in recognition that unknown structured objects flying around in the United States airspace with seeming impunity of these objects outmaneuvering our flight
It's the only other coin I believe that's going to be appreciated.
Because it gives the way to go. There is clearly a safety issue worldwide, not just in the United States. I mean,
Everything else is
I've listed several on the UK pilot's website, and I'm doing research and I've got another list of cases to